Episode 7, The Curse of Strahd-Ah-Ah-Ah. We are here and we're ready and we got some stuff for you. Let me make sure my sound is muted. Make sure all systems are go. If I could just real quick get my sisters here to give me a sound off so I can check your volumes.
Hello.
Okay, that's Jenna.
I was trying to do a Three Stooges thing, and I'm like, wait, we don't know that thing.
We got Char and we got Adrian. Everybody say hi so I can hear you.
I'm so nervous.
You're nervous.
Fun. What do you mean?
I'm the one that's scared in my picture.
I think Adrian's the only one I haven't heard.
Only one that's scared in the picture.
Okay, Adrian.
Okay, my audio.
Oh, your audio keeps messing out. I was gonna say, I see you like looking at the screen.
Going out.
Okay, so we're gonna try to get that fixed. But while we work on that,
shall I recap?
Is
Yeah, I think that's better.
Okay.
Is that working?
When we last left off, now we can. Yes.
Yay!
Huzzah! Oh, just kidding. Maybe. There we go. All right. So, last session, we rounded out the Sunless Citadel. You made it all the way down through the Grove. You met the evil druid Belloc, and through some clever use of a flaming spear and assassinating some twig blights and the very unfortunate tree thralls, you managed to take down the Gulthus tree, putting an end to its evil and corruption throughout the Sunless Citadel. When you returned to Madame Hercule and, delivered the bodies of her children and gave her closure, she invited you to the ceremony, and you said your goodbyes, gave your farewells, and sent it off the two adventurers in style. Shortly thereafter, the mayor of the town reached out as you were getting ready to leave and asked if it would be okay if you talked to some rowdy merchants that were just kind of hanging on the outskirts of town. Harassing might be a little bit too strong of a word, but bothering people coming in and out of the town. And the girls agreed, yeah, absolutely, we can go out and talk to them and just tell them to keep it to themselves and be on their way. It was then that you went out and met the Vistani. The Vistani are a gypsy-like people who were singing and dancing and having a good time, and after all of the darkness that you had been through and all the sadness and everything and the heavy day that you had all had, you figured, you know what? We deserve this. We've earned it. And you hung around, you had some good meals, enjoyed some stew, enjoyed a bunch of drinks, maybe had a baguette or two, I don't know. And toward the end of the night, as everything was winding down, you were all getting ready to travel with these new Vistani who were taking you on an adventure, and the next thing you know, you wake up and you're in the woods, but it's not the woods as you remember it. It's much darker, the trees are twisted, the roots in the ground are kind of like grasping hands, gnarled, reaching from the earth. It's cold, and there's this strange misty fog everywhere. It's thick, almost choking, almost a little too heavy to breathe. As you get up and wander from camp, there's a road that leads pretty clearly towards a town that you can see off in the distance. And it's good a place as any to, I guess, try and find your bearings, figure out what happened to the Vistani, where did they go. So you started making your way toward the town. And as you approached, were pretty certain that you could hear what sounded like sobbing, crying, something that piqued your interest. It sounded like a child.
I'm pretty sure that's me.
They just don't know it yet.
It's just a Naga. No worries.
Don't worry, it's just her. Yeah, and that is where we left off. So, The girls continue down the street, and as you walk into this town, and it's small, it's maybe one or two cross streets wide, and all of the houses appear to be boarded up, damaged, mostly abandoned. You hear from what sounds like the center of the town square to be some kind of sobbing or crying, and as you approach, you see these young children standing out in front of their house.
I love children.
And as soon as I can find my handouts here. Dang it. I'm so prepared. I'm nervous. Oh my god.
You're not allowed to be nervous. We're the nervous ones.
No, too late. I'm already nervous.
Yes.
I've already accepted my life as a vampire.
Here we go. You see these children
Aww.
Oh,
I
hello.
mean,
who seem almost like, it's probably not too strange. The area seems void of decent sunlight. It's cloudy, and you're not sure if it's day or night, to be honest.
Willing.
Um,
Outfits.
But they're crying, soft whimpering and stuff. And as the older girl sees, she kind of wipes her eyes, and she's holding her younger brother, and she kind of shushes him and says, "Shh." She turns to you, and she's emphatically, she's clearly terrified, and she just kind of whispers, "There's a monster in her house," and she points to a tall brick building that appears to be about 3 stories tall, very narrow and narrow down the sides, but 3 stories up, pointed roofs, and the doors itself be fine. The house itself doesn't seem to be in too much of disrepair compared to the other houses. You kind of get the sense that the rest of the town was evacuated a long time ago, and perhaps this is the last family that lives there.
okay.
There is a gated portico at the ground level leading to the front door. The windows are dark, but I'd like everyone to make a perception check.
All right. Looks like Adrian may have had to disconnect for a
Yeah.
moment.
Okay.
But she coming back.
Hear me?
We can hear you.
Perception.
It's reloading roll 20. It's taking forever.
Okay, Amelia. Natural 20 out the gate. I see you. Oh, wait,
Not
no.
natural.
Not
it's
nuts.
A 19. Okay, still super high. Good enough. Okay.
Let's not roll lower than that this entire time.
I don't think that's how it works. I wish
Yeah.
it was, but I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Okay,
The deer
so
snack.
Amelia, as the girls are looking at the children in front of them and kind of hearing about, this monster, you look up and you're not entirely certain, but you're pretty sure on the second floor you saw something in one of the windows just for a moment. It looked like a very skinny, gaunt woman with long hair, and she turns and walks through the window very quickly. And as you see that, the children are talking to the other girls, and they're saying that there's the monster in the house. Our mom and dad are still in there. They're trying to get the baby. And what do you say?
So
Just gonna go in.
yeah, real quick though. Now I remember we drank a lot with the Vistani. Or
Mhm.
I'm assuming we're nursing some pretty bad hangovers.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably feeling a little worse for wear today.
Alright, so we're just stumbling out of the woods and guess we'll help the children. It's what we do.
We're like, where the hell are we?
Do any of you perhaps feel that maybe this is a chance for redemption, seeing as you couldn't save the other kids?
Oh, we don't talk about the other kids.
Wow. Yeah, probably.
Too soon.
I told you this is gonna be dark.
Yeah.
That's probably what Amelia's thinking, so she's probably just gonna run right in.
Okay. So Amelia, you're ready to run in. What is everyone else doing?
I'm not gonna run in, but I
If
will
it's
follow
Chunky,
her.
is always same.
Okay.
I'm just curled up below my cape, just I don't want to move.
Oh god. Watch the children then.
Okay.
Okay. So
The oldest, you look like me.
as the other girls get ready to approach the house, let's
I know, they have a
move over
really
to
weird
the
color.
death house. All right, so we're gonna move you over, and I'm gonna drop your character tokens on, and we'll get started.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the kids out.
Call this house the death house.
I also thought I heard him
No one
say
else
death
heard him.
house, and I was like, maybe I
I'm
heard
sure
it
it's fine,
wrong.
You don't want to
right?
hear him say that?
Mm-mm. I heard nothing.
So,
I see
as you enter the home, let me get my notes here since I rewrote a lot of this with the help of some people at work who are courteous enough to run me through this at least once already. All right, so as you approach the front of the house, is everyone going? Is anyone staying with the kids? What's going on?
I'm staying with the kids.
Okay, so
Stay out there.
Jayaz, Jayaz,
fine.
Amelia,
I like knowing where I go.
and E all approach the
Weird
front of the
place.
home. So as you do, you approach a wrought iron fence with
Sorry.
Okay. A wrought iron gate with hinges on one side and a lock on the other fills the archway of a stone portico. The gate is unlocked, and as you pop the latch and open the rusty gate, hinges shriek as you pass through. Oil lamps hang from the ceiling of the front porch, which flank a large oak door. As the doors open, you're brought into a grand foyer. Hanging on the wall to your right is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, and just behind it are framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Straight ahead of you, you see framed double doors with panes of stained glass that open to a main hall. Is there anything you'd like to do in here?
Besides cry? Can we hear, can we hear any noises, or,
Just Jayaz, go ahead and roll perception for me.
I'll cry. Let's be real percept. Okay.
Alright, we're off to a good start. So, as you all enter the house, it sounds pretty deathly quiet. You don't hear too much, but then as you kind of focus, close your eyes, and really, really, truly listen, you think you might hear someone on the third floor. It sounds like the scuffling of feet, possibly.
Okay.
Or it might just be vermin. You're not entirely sure. But you're pretty sure you heard something.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of hold up a hand and be like, did anybody else hear that? And then kind of look.
The rest of you heard nothing.
Great.
I don't hear
I have
anything.
big ears, but that doesn't mean I heard it.
Okay.
My elf ears are hearing.
By the way, Janaga, you're out here with the children.
Yes, hello, children.
Hello, children.
Children, so you can't call them children.
Yeah, these are actually children as opposed to
Technically
the
children.
20-somethings we had in the last adventure.
They were children.
Not like quote unquote
as
children.
well.
And
Okay.
we have to save the adult children.
You think you heard something. You're not quite sure you heard anything. You raise your hand. You ask the girls if they hear anything. They say no. What happens next?
I'm gonna stealth because now she's got me thinking that there is something.
Okay. All right, 14. And what else would you like to do?
I guess we're heading in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let Amelia go first. Being a rogue and all.
Thanks.
Okay. So, Amelia, you move into the next room, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you do, you enter the room, which is a grand entrance hall. It spans the entire length of the house from left to right. On your left as you enter is a black marble fireplace, and to your right is a sweeping red marble staircase. Mounted above the black fireplace on your left is a longsword. The walls in this room are paneled with ornate wood and contain sculptures of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs embedded in the woodwork. It's very ornate, very nice.
Oh,
Okay. And I remember seeing a woman figure upstairs, right?
Yeah, you're pretty sure you saw a woman upstairs. Well, is that it? Dropped out for a second.
I'm just gonna go up the stairs then.
Just going straight up the stairs? Okay. Do you have the girls follow you before you go up or no?
oh,
Whatever they want to do, I don't really care. I'm not following them.
Before I follow her up, can I check that fireplace to see if there's anything in it, or maybe something that stands out, like an engraving, that kind of thing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an inspection check.
Inspection. Cool. If I find that window, I will get right on it.
And while you do that, I'm just gonna have the kids under my cloak and just be like, "Let's go in quick."
Oh my god. Wait, you said inspection. Woof.
Or investigation. Sorry,
Oh,
yeah,
damn
they're the
it.
same thing.
I was like,
Sorry, I was thinking
just
3.5 edition.
kidding.
So, okay,
That's
so
with a
Nice.
+3.
Alright. All right,
Put my
so
weapon
Jenna,
next to Amelia. Just safe
as
there.
as you enter the house, the
Mhm.
children kind of run from under your cloak and go back out the front door. They do not want to be in the house and scream as they do. Before you can actually go out and find them, like you make an effort to run out the front door after them, they are gone into the mist. And you hear footsteps in one direction, but you're not sure if that's where they went or not. It seems to echo off the other stone houses.
I'm gonna run back in.
Okay.
Okay. The kids ran off, but they sound like they'd be bigger footsteps than what a child would make.
Okay.
And I don't know what to do.
Just let the kids run away.
And they're gone.
They bolted from my cape. My cape is a safe
Oh,
blanket.
the same end. But we
My
told
cape
you
is
to stay
literally
with
a
the
safety
kids.
blanket.
So, Jayaz,
Yes.
as you approach the fireplace, you're checking inside where the hearth is,
Mhm.
kind of looking to see if there's anything in there. It doesn't look like it's been used recently, but it is nicely prepared. There's some logs in the fire. There's no ash underneath of it. As you look above on the mantle, you take a closer look at the longsword. The longsword itself does pull away from the wall, and you turn it over in your hands. And there's a windmill worked into the hilt.
Okay. That tells
Did you say
me
a windmill?
Mm-hmm. A windmill.
that doesn't tell me much.
Okay. A granary somewhere nearby?
I'll just assume like maybe the family, like looking around, obviously they have money. Like maybe they have a windmill and a granary, and I don't know.
So you turn around and say this to the girls, right?
Yeah, I'm just like, windmill, who knew?
Okay.
Up the stairs. I could care less about a damn windmill.
Okay. So, E, you have a pretty decent passive perception score. As you walked through the foyer, on the shield, you recognize that the windmill on the sword actually matches the family's coat of arms on the shield. That's an interesting note. So, seems to be a theme throughout the house.
Okay.
Um,
To have a coat of arms, they would have to be a well-to-do family.
yeah.
Okay. Not any less
also-
creeped out.
Yeah. Something else that was kind of interesting, Jazz, as you took the longsword from the wall and kind of put it back up, you take a slightly closer look at the woodworking on the wall. It seems to, it's lining the walls and the fireplace and everything, and there's vines, flowers, a couple, fey creatures, which, not unusual. But then you notice, as you look kind of closer, there's also some serpents, like little snakes.
Okay.
And then skulls kind of woven in over some of the faces of the nymphs and the satyrs as well. Little creepy, little strange.
So at first it looks completely fine. Like, oh yeah, okay. And then it's like,
Yeah, you kind of get the sense that whatever designer they picked was either playing a mean joke or someone just has really weird taste, but it's whatever.
I'm just gonna kind of like, okay, this isn't weird at all. And like, I'm still like hangover. At this point, I'll probably like have a piece of bread, like nibbling on it, looking at the relief in the wall. Like,
So in this location, there's a few different doors. There's one here, and then two over here. And then there's also one right in front of Janaga there. So this is clearly the grand entrance hall. Seems to be the base of the house. And Charlie, you wanted to go upstairs, correct? Okay. So you ascend the marble staircase and appear on the second floor. Mandy, for camera purposes, just zoom out a little bit. The two floors are right next to each other. Okay, and as you arrive, you appear on the upper hall. So unlit oil lamps are mounted on the walls of this elegant hall. Hanging above the mantelpiece across from you is a wood-framed portrait of a family. Standing suits of armor flank the wooden doors at each corner of the room. They all clutch a spear and have a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. The red marble staircase continues upward.
I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. Let's see. So we're going to take you up to the 3rd floor. As I can actually see both of them at the same time. There we go.
Do I have
Okay.
to zoom out more?
Yeah, this one's going to be above the 1st floor.
Boop, 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 boop. I
So.
said boop, boop, boop.
Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, I don't think I have it. Oh, there it goes.
No,
It just took a minute.
There you go. Alright, so as you reach the top floor, you reach the balcony, and the top of the red marble staircase, you see a dusty balcony with a suit of black plate armor standing on the opposite wall, draped in cobwebs. It's a little interesting because the 1st and 2nd floors seem to be pretty well maintained. So it's kind of odd that the 3rd floor would have, it appears to be in disrepair. There's more oil lamps that are mounted on the oak paneled walls, and the carvings up here are of more woodland scenes, trees, falling leaves, tiny critters. To your right, you see a set of ornate doors with dusty glass set into them. On the glasses, etched designs of more windmills.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm sorry, my audio had been going out so much. But
That's okay.
what we're doing right now is just exploring the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
currently, most of the party is on the 1st floor in the grand entrance hall.
Okay.
Charlie is investigating. I'm sorry, Amelia is investigating the top floor right now. She believes she saw something outside, and is kind of investigating to see if there's anything here.
Saw.
I don't think she ever mentioned.
Okay.
That
What she saw, though.
anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the 3 of us doing? Just standing here in the hall in the entryway?
I'm eating a piece of bread
I
while
just like
looking
suddenly
at the
turn and
mantle.
see that Amelia's gone, and I'm like, ah! And then I just hide under Eastgate.
Now
Okay.
seems like a good chance to pop back to the 1st floor. What would you like to be doing? There's a couple different rooms you can explore. You haven't heard anything on this floor.
All right. Well, I want to check these rooms out still. I'm assuming like this double area. That's the doors we came in.
Correct. That was from the
Okay.
foyer.
So this is a door directly in front of me. I'll go in that room first.
Okay, so you pop into here, and what you see is
Dining.
so you walk into a room that is very clearly an ornate, decorated dining room. The centerpiece of this wood-paneled dining room is a carved mahogany table, surrounded by 8 high-back chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats.
Okay.
A chandelier hangs above the table, which is covered with resplendent silverware and crystalware polished to a dazzling shine. Mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany-framed painting of an alpine vale. A closer look at the wall panels show elegant images of deer among trees, and red silk drapes cover all the windows, and a tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chase after a wolf, and is hanging from an iron rod bolted to the south wall over here. So more finery, more elegance, more opulence.
Alright, so
And you kind of think to yourself, given your character's backstory and history, you look at the silverware and kind of think, I mean, that silverware is probably worth something.
Yeah, I felt that for sure, but we're trying to help this family out, and I'm not just a thief.
Okay.
Sure.
Alright, so it's, I guess would I roll perception to see if, like, anything else kind of
Yeah, go ahead.
stands out about it?
Yeah.
And let's do better. Okay.
There you go. Okay, so you take a closer look at the wall, at the room itself, kind of checking over the finery. You pick up some of the crystal and turn it in your hands, and it seems to be very fine, very nice. A closer look at the walls, because you saw the weird mantle art kind of in the first room. So you're taking a closer look at the wall panelings in here too.
Still eating a piece of bread, by the way.
Still eating a piece of bread, so chomping away on that baguette. You take a closer look in the trees, and there's twisted faces that are carved into the tree trunks, which you thought were just like little knot holes before. Actually look like faces twisted in agony. And behind the deer, they're kind of frolicking amongst the trees. You can see shadows of wolves kind of waiting in the background. Their teeth seem to be snarling.
No!
So I'm gonna come back out from the dining room and I'm gonna look at the other two girls and be like, I don't know if you guys have like really looked around, but this place is weird. Like this, I'm getting the heebies.
You're just now noticing that!
It seems a
I
little off.
appeared here! I like knowing where I'm going!
It says underneath
Sense
the cape. I mean, East Cape.
It's like underneath. Got you. I got you.
But I still want to explore because, like, you know, JR, she doesn't leave a door undoored.
So we'll do
Oh,
one
yeah,
more
we
room,
know.
and then we'll go back to.
Yeah. So I'll
Million
check out
Stairs.
this
I'm going to punch you for that one.
door here. This next one.
Ping it for me.
This
okay.
closet that
Yeah,
I
it's
just walked
literally a
into.
closet. Okay, so as you pop in, it is indeed a cloakroom. The cloakroom
Wow.
contains several black cloaks, which are hanging from hooks on the far wall, and a top hat sits high on the shelf.
But nothing.
No, nothing really. The hat looks kind of cool.
I'll mentally mark it in my head like, shit goes south. I'm gonna grab that hat.
Okay, that's fair.
Or, you know, the cloaks for warmth or something, but you know that hat.
No, the hat's gonna look real cool.
I mean, the hat does look like it would be really stylish.
Like
There's
the
a
one
mirror
you're
in there. Do you want to try it on, see how it looks?
Oh!
Now that you say it that way, maybe a hard pass on the hat.
Okay. It's great because there's not necessarily anything wrong with it, but man, this is so much fun.
Now,
And what's
no.
evil and
Could I
That's
like?
the point.
Could
It
I
might
do?
just be a harmless hat.
Could I do like an Arcana check on the hat?
Sure, you pick it up. Go ahead and roll Arcana.
Crap. Great.
It's definitely a hat.
Alright. I'll still mark it for like in case shit goes south, I might grab
Okay.
this hat. And the
So you make a
silverware.
note. You make a note in your brain. Let's go back up to Amelia on the third floor.
We'll just take
So-
like 5 days to scroll.
So Amelia, you're sitting at the top of the stairs here. You're kind of looking around. You get real quiet and you're listening. You don't hear anyone on the floor. Judging by the way that the house was laid out, you're not entirely sure
So back this up
which
to
window you think it would have been at. But if it was anywhere, it probably would have been here.
okay. So these are all doors going into somewhere.
Yes, so this is the ornate double doors on the right with the windmills etched into the glass. There is another set of doors here, and here, and then to the south. Or I'm sorry, to the left of you. It's not south. The house's orientation is kind of weird.
Anything?
What was that?
Even if I hear anything?
Go ahead and roll perception. 7. Okay. You kind of get real quiet, and you hear Jayaz talking down the main foyer, echoing up through the staircase. You don't hear anything on this floor.
She's just thinking, God, does she ever shut up?
However, you look at the suit of black armor in front of you, and did the hand just twitch?
Wait, thanks. I swear.
You're not quite sure, but your stomach kind of drops thinking about it.
I'm gonna look at the doors.
The double doors? Okay. So as you stealth that way, you're pretty sure you just heard the plate of the armor move.
God.
You're like 95% sure that you just heard something creak. It was the armor knocking against itself. You look behind you and it doesn't look like it's moved.
We're stabbing
Right.
at armor.
So you're at the doors. You can see through the glass a little bit. It's a little hard because it's like it's frosted with the etching on it. What would you like to do?
That armor. And stab it.
You're gonna stab the armor. As you
Okay.
turn around and approach the armor, It definitely moves this time.
Ah!
Like, you see it move, and
Oh, boy.
it's taking an aggressive lunge toward you. Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
While she does that, how many suits of armor were on that second floor?
You weren't there. You have no idea.
Ah!
Got a -1 initiative, and I forgot to click my turn marker.
All right, 11. Here's my armor.
Oh.
Let
No,
me
don't
hand
find
out
your
my-
armor. Maybe it's
See.
just sleeping.
Player handouts, monster handouts. I want to see if they have a picture, because the picture's kind of...
It's like just literally a suit of armor.
Bloop.
Yeah, there it is.
That looks awesome.
It's pretty.
I know. I'd be okay with that.
Too bad it's evil. Me.
Alright, let's see here. So,
Hasn't
first
gotten all the
round...
earrings to tell us anything.
She's
So, Amelia,
doing
you
it
rolled
on
a
her own.
4. Yeah, I was gonna say, you can basically yell out during the surprise
I'm
round.
just gonna hear a bunch of clanging. Like, what is that?
I'm
So
not
the
yelling
end-
out.
So the armor springs to life, and
Silverware hitting each other.
it reaches forward and tries to just slam you. It doesn't have any physical weapons in its hand, so it's just making an attempt to rush at you. It rolls a 13, which I think is your armor class.
Yeah, I'm a 13.
Okay, so we'll say it ties. You see it coming just in the nick of time. You brace yourself, it bumps you, but you kind of manage to keep yourself from being slammed into the wall behind you. It is now your turn. What are you going to do?
Shit, what did I miss?
What?
Nothing at all. We're having tea, and it's all nice and happy.
Heard rush towards you. I was gonna say, where did you go?
Armor or something? I'm daggering it, so.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack. Both of those hit. Alright, go ahead and roll
Nice.
damage. Alright, let's see here. So, -9. So, as you brace yourself, you kind of manage to shove it off and pull your daggers out, and as you do, you manage to stab it into openings of the armor, expecting to meet resistance under it, given that, you know, most things that you stab tend to have some fleshy bits. You feel nothing inside, but you manage to pry some of the armor off instead, and a shoulder piece comes free. As you take your second strike, it manages to pierce the armor and stab right through it and pull back, but it doesn't appear to be any worse for wear. It's still swinging out at you.
Great. Can I get on the earrings now?
Yeah, you can go ahead and send a short message.
Now she wants to get on the earrings.
Huh? Now she's a part of Undead Vigor's suggestion in the chat. Said, LOL, my party just threw this thing down the stairs. I didn't really think to just go together.
I like stabbing things, though, so I don't think I would think of that. But I'm like, third floor now, and that's it. So.
Okay.
Jayasa's gonna, though, remember the whole thing about the snake room and be like, why? Why should we come to the third floor? You wanted to go up there by yourself.
You! Fine, forget you.
Okay, so
But
Jayaz doesn't move.
No,
Ian,
she's gonna still go. She's just gonna...
Okay. So, how fast are you all trying to move up the stairs? Are you like sprinting? Or
Eve's moving, so I'm just staying with her.
Okay. So we'll say that you all arrive there next turn. You're basically sprinting up these two flights of stairs.
Doing like
So,
over, like jumping a step.
yeah.
So I can carry.
And it's, I mean, it's circular, so. Yes.
I do it every day.
Alright, so I'm going to add you all to initiative. Go ahead and make your rolls now. The animated armor is going to make an attempt to shove you again.
Hold on, I gotta find me to click to initiate.
Yeah. So the first one misses, however, he's going to take a second swing. And that one manages to hit you. So the first arm comes down, and you manage to see it coming, and you just kind of duck out of the way and immediately move to the side. The second one swings wide with his left arm and actually manages to hit you and knock you towards the stairs. You tumble this way a little bit and catch yourself as you're falling down the flight. However, you do suffer 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Damn.
God.
And the animated armor is going to move to the top of the staircase.
thankful for those hit points now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look up at you. Like, is there a way is there a spell you could just make it really slippery?
Oh, I can entangle him.
Whoa! Do it at the top of the stairs and he falls down.
Alright, so the rest of you all managed to start running up the stairs. Jayaz, you're the first one up to the top, but you managed to see Amelia and you kind of catch her as she's
Okay.
about to continue tumbling down the stairs and help her get back on her feet.
And I'm sure she loves that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's a huge fan.
I hate it.
So Amelia, this turn's going to be spent standing up and kind of getting your bearings again. We're going to move top to initiative. Jayaz, you are actually up first.
All right, so coming up the steps, can I see them? Like I can see
Yes,
what's
you
up
can.
there?
So you can see the armor, and it is very clearly like moving and alive.
Okay. So I'm gonna think like it's too close to try to like shoot with Lilias. So I don't even think I would have them out inside the house. So I'm gonna just pull my short swords.
Okay.
And I'm guess I am going to gingerly try to get around Amelia.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check.
Sure. Acrobatics.
12. Okay. So since you helped her up and you kind of already got your foot on the stairs, you managed to move deftly past her and approach the armor.
All right, and then I'm going to try to hurt him real bad.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your 2 attacks.
Kill him.
Yes. All right. So for your short swords, you withdraw them and you kind of make your stabby motions. One of them cleaves right across the breastplate of the armor, making a pretty serious gash in it. The second one, however, seems to bounce ineffectively off one of the arms. Go ahead and roll damage on the first attack, please. Okay, 9 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
So you manage to make a pretty dire strike, and you see a little bit of energy seem to escape from the wound.
Okay.
It's, arcane in nature. It's purple, kind of fizzes off and smokes and then evaporates. But that seems like it was a pretty grievous blow here.
Okay. And just like as she does this, she's gonna like admire the craftsmanship of the armor. And like she's already gonna start thinking like, this armor, that hat.
Okay.
So you put it
Meanwhile,
on, then you become it.
as you're admiring the armor, it's going to try and shove you down the stairs again. Or shove you down the stairs for the first time.
Oh god!
I am on fire today.
Now,
All
is
right.
that something though? Or no, that's its attack, right? Like I can't have a reaction or anything to that. Like a dex save or nothing.
No. Well, I'll let you make a dex save to not fall down the stairs.
Okay.
Like, no, I didn't. That's not fair. I didn't let Amelia do one, and it's still a crit, so I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
So the animated armor makes a rush at you, pushes you. This time you manage to bump Amelia. And you know what, Amelia? Go ahead and make a dex saving throw for me for a different reason. Because you're standing behind her now. 16. Okay. So as you see Jayaz kind of coming towards you, her heels are just off the edge of the top of the stairs. She starts falling backwards, and she's going to land right on top of you. You manage to catch her on like sideways and almost like a romantic comedy dance pose as she's falling backwards. Jayaz is holding her swords out in front of her, trying to make sure they don't impale anyone on the way down. Jayaz, you do suffer 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Please make sure to take that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you manage to stabilize both yourself and Amelia catches you on her way down.
We got this.
Janaga, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I'll let you peek through my cloak up the stairs. Do I have to be where I am?
So there is the balcony pretty much right behind you. You can either try and make checks to move all around, or, I mean, the balcony is probably 5 feet above you. Do you just want to try and jump up?
I'll just jump up, yeah.
Okay. So you turn around, you make a leap. It's about 5 feet. Your strength is high enough. You grab it, you pull yourself over the ledge, and you are now facing that way. What would you like to
That
do?
was smart.
I'm gonna use my short bow and just see what that's gonna do.
Okay. So you withdraw your short bow, you take a shot. Alright, calm down everybody with your 20s. Only I'm allowed to get 20.
The scary one gets in that 20.
So, you are so terrified that you're just like, you know what? You see this thing, and this is the one thing in the house that you are not afraid of. You have dealt with all sorts of monsters and beasts at this point. You're not going to let some cling-clangy armor take you out. So you steady yourself, you withdraw your short bow, you take a shot, go ahead and roll damage for me. Alright, so 11 points of piercing damage. You let loose the arrow, and it spears straight through the helmet sideways, kind of giving that comedic, Cupid shot by an arrow through the head. And it goes right through, and it turns to you. And behind the eyes, where you would normally expect to see something, you just see the wood of the arrow, like straight center mass.
Good job.
As you manage to pierce the armor, there is another explosion of pinkish-purple arcane energy that evaporates out of the wound. It stumbles a little bit as it turns to look at you. It is looking in some pretty rough shape here. E, it is your turn, and go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay. I had my spells all ready. Give me a second.
She's got like the poison puff, and she's like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't think
laughing.
I'd try to puff this dude. I don't think that would be very effective. Perception, did you say?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, I like that roll. No, I don't. Good lord, seriously, I got a 2.
Okay. Still, that perception score is pretty high. So, you look up and see this thing kind of stumbling and falling. You recognize there's nobody in it. This armor is actually probably never seen combat. It's all dusty and cobwebby and gross. There's no weapons on it, and it has the emblazoned windmill that you saw before on the chest. You imagine this is probably would have been some kind of armor for the family, but obviously it was never used. And what would you like to do?
So is it possessed? I mean, obviously it's possessed. Huh. Shoot.
Speaking of shoot,
No.
I just forgot the music. It should be piping through soon. That was my fault.
Oh, okay.
Turn Adam.
I'm the worst.
It
So-
just got real spooky.
It's been
Could I move past Amelia and Jayaz and go beside Janaga right here?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an acrobatics check for me.
Athletics?
Acrobatics. Because this is going to be more
okay.
of like a can you maneuver without getting in anybody's way. Oh yeah, easily.
Okay.
So you're kind of
I
going
am
up the
at it.
stairs, and in somewhat of an interesting motion, you have Amelia holding Jayaz sideways, and as you do, Amelia's kind of tilted to the left to catch her. You just scooch right along the side of the wall, like in a fluid motion, your cloak kind of trailing behind you as you walk by them and get up to Janaga.
I mean, I am an elf.
It's very graceful.
Yeah. That's how I do. I'm gonna longbow this guy.
All right. So as you do, you unshoulder your longbow, you draw an arrow, and you let it fly. It ricochets off of the shoulder armor and kind of clatters in the corner over here. It didn't seem to be very effectual.
I'm just getting started.
Yeah. This is a warm-up. This is just a warm-up.
Dear God!
Amelia, it is your
die.
turn. What would you like to do?
Jay's back on the.
Sets
you
me
were
down
off
on
a
my
little bit.
feet.
Off of me.
Okay.
I guess I'll run up past her and dagger it again.
Okay. So you run up, you get fire, and you make some stabby motions. However, the armor is kind of shuffling backwards, and as you try and make strikes, it manages to maneuver. You do manage to get a dagger wedged in between one of the openings, but again, because there's no actual physical body inside, it just punctures air and pulls right back.
This is your fault. I say to Jake.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's because she touched me. Like now she's gonna roll like crab the rest of the time. All right.
Maybe she took it from you and it's hers now.
All right. So, is there any way I could get to this other side of him so he doesn't try kicking me down the steps again?
So you can make a acrobatics check to see if you can maneuver between the wall and the armor.
Okay.
7. Okay. So you try to make it through, however, it's just too narrow of a space. Before you really commit to the movement, you decide against it, because he'll probably get a really good hit on you if you do.
Alright. I'm just gonna chance it then. I'm gonna try stabbing him again with my short sword.
Okay. So you make some stabby motions. Alright. So, go ahead and roll damage for the first short sword, please.
Yeah.
7. Okay, perfect. So as you're at the top of the stairs, you look and see if there's any way to go through that space, and there's really not. However, you get a great idea. You make a kind of leap up, kick off the wall. You take your short swords and bring them down straight on the center of the armor. It cleaves through the top of the visor all the way through, snaps the wooden arrow in half, cuts it about mid-center into the middle of the windmill, and you pull your blade back. And as you do, the animated armor just falls to pieces on the floor.
Yay!
I'm gonna go, I did it!
And it is no more.
Yeah. Now, Jayos wants to immediately see if this armor is salvageable.
So you bend down, you start going through some of the pieces. There's probably, like, the lower half of the armor wasn't damaged too badly. However, you notice it's surprisingly frail now that it's been defeated. It feels like the armor's been here for quite some time and not really taken care of. You could theoretically try and take it to a blacksmith and see if they could reinforce it. I would say you'd probably get from, like, the thigh greaves down if you wanted to try and do that.
No, okay, I'll pass. Since
Is
it's
it light
more
enough for you?
I can wear many different types, but I'll pass on it. I'll be like, it's more like it looks better from afar. Meh.
Okay.
Is there any way that I can check how it was being manipulated?
Yeah, go ahead and make an arcane
like
check.
Where its source of power was? Okay.
Or actually, do you have, check your spell sheet real quick. See if you have it memorized. You don't have it memorized, but if you want to, yeah, make an arcana check.
Okay.
And we'll see what you can find out. 9. Okay. So, you review the armor and kind of take it in your hands and reach out. You don't feel anything of arcane nature still living within this. Whatever ties it previously had to whatever was conducting it are now gone.
Okay. Oh well, I tried. Moving on.
Alright.
Yes.
So.
So what all's up here? There's the double doors.
Double doors.
So up here you have the double doors that are to your right. They have the etchings of the windmill, and through the glass you can kind of see an open space, maybe the corner of a bed, you're not quite sure. There's a door right behind E, and also to her left. And then there's one more over here.
No, excuse me.
Other features in this room include... Yeah, just the armor was really the only thing of note.
Okay.
There's also, the oak panel walls, which have the scenes of trees, falling leaves, tiny critters, nothing super interesting.
And some skulls and crossbones and...
I mean, probably. You can take a closer look if you want.
I will like to do that, because apparently this is like Jayos's creepy art museum.
Go ahead.
Perception?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no!
Well, I'd rather it be on a perception check.
I was gonna say, you did at level 4 take the lucky.
nothing.
I
So
did,
you
but
wanna
I'm
use-
saving it.
Okay.
Hold on, let me rearrange
So-
myself. Maybe I'll roll better.
So you take a close
Without that
look. You're
double
looking at the walls. As you do, you are pretty sure you heard some kind of noise on down the stairs. It sounded like a clicking, clacking, scuttling of something, and it distracts you. That seems to have stolen your focus.
Okay. So again, JLS is gonna be like, you guys hear that? Did you?
I want to check out these um
other rooms.
floors with the windmill.
With the windmills? Okay, so you're going to move through here. Did you want to re-up your stealth since you went into combat?
Sure.
Okay, 19. Perfect. Okay, so as you approach the double doors, you move through them silently. And you see what is pretty clearly the master suite of the house, probably. This large room appears to be the master bedroom. Cobwebs fill the space, and burgundy drapes cover the windows. Throughout the room, you see a 4-poster bed with embroidered curtains and tattered gossamer veils, a matching pair of wardrobes, a vanity filled with a wood-framed mirror, if I can type, a jewelry box, and a padded chair. You also notice a tiger skin rug that lies on the floor in front of the fireplace. Above the fireplace is a dust-covered portrait of 2 well-to-do nobles, it appears. To your right, you see a parlor, which is also filled with cobwebs and contains a table and 2 chairs. Resting on the dusty tablecloth is a porcelain bowl and matching jug.
Okay, can I look at the jewelry box?
Yeah. So you approach the vanity over here, and you check the... Oh, let me tilt you. There we go.
Oh, there's the train.
There's the ghost train.
Okay.
Take it Okay. So you check out the jewelry box. You're standing in front of the vanity. The jewelry box is made of silver with gold filigree. It looks very fancy, very nice. It contains 3 gold rings and a thin platinum necklace, which what appears to be a topaz pendant in the center of it. It's probably worth a pretty penny.
We're just raking in the money and never spending it.
I know. That's I'm like, oh, money, what we need.
Which reminds
So I
me.
take it because, like, what if we're trying to save these people and they're like, "Oh, where's my shit?" And we're like, "Oh, we took it."
Right, and like you have their topaz, I have like their hat and their silverware.
Yeah.
Like,
So I'm just gonna
It
leave
is-
it there. Like, maybe
Okay.
we'll have like a family ring or something like we had with the last family, but
Yeah. No, you actually check out the jewelry. You don't notice any kind of like family markings or anything on it. It's probably just really nice finery. About it. As you look up from the jewelry box and you catch yourself in the vanity, it looks like you are suddenly much older, like mummified status older. You blink and clear your head, and no, you're fine.
Rosie Beestinger, when did
Weird.
you get here?
fucking love Rosie. Is that a closet or like a door?
Right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So you walk over. You open the door, and yes, it is a closet. It has a full-length mirror based on the front of it. The door opens, and it's empty, which is a little weird. You were expecting some kind of clothing in here, obviously. But nope, just dust.
it's the boo.
Can I investigate and see if I could find like a secret door or something?
Okay, roll perception for me. Okay. You check out the closet. You check all the walls and everything. Kind of poke your head in there to see if you see anything. You don't see anything. There's no secret switches or anything, but the door does manage to latch closed behind you.
Okay. Can I get out?
Yeah, you try the door handle. It opens just fine. Weird.
Okay.
There wasn't a gust of wind or anything. Doesn't look like the door would have closed on itself, but hey, who knows?
Stop! That crazy. Does it? here in this house.
Creep effective. It's working.
So you notice that there's also 2 more doors over here. There's one that leads out to what appears to be a balcony, and then a very small box, possibly 2 by 2 square foot wide, like that big, maybe. So 2
Can I
feet by
check
2 feet.
the balcony one first?
Yeah. So you step out onto the balcony, and it's pretty chilly out. Looking around, you're still not sure if it's daytime or nighttime. The fog has gotten really dense. You can barely see the houses next door at this point. You don't even see the treetops of the forest that you go through.
I can spot the children from here.
No, it's gotten way too thick.
Run away. Okay. I go back inside and then I check out the
2 by 2 door?
Yeah.
Okay. So you open the little paneling, and this appears to be a dumbwaiter. It is a small elevator that's used to carry food up and down from usually a kitchen or some kind of preparation area. There's also a button next to it.
The button.
Okay. You press the button, and
Push the button.
can I have Jayaz, Janaga, and E please make a perception check for me?
Perception.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, you're doing so great.
We're just, in here doing things.
Let's slime under her cape.
Alright, so we had a 5, a 4, and a 22. Okay, E.
It was
So-
a 5 and a 2.
Oh.
Yeah. So, E, as you are standing at the top of the stairs checking out this armor, you suddenly hear a very sharp ringing from down the staircase. Like a very, loud... And then it stops.
No. Okay. Oh, okay. I
Now, granted,
apologize.
you don't know what... You don't know...
Hurry.
Now, granted, you don't know what Amelia's been up to, so you just hear this noise coming from the stairs, and that's it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yay.
Okay. So.
That's it? Nothing happens? That's boring. I kind of wanted a dead skull to come up.
Oh, I'm not done.
Hey!
I'm just waiting to see what E does first.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna use my earring
Okay.
to ask Amelia if she did anything.
Okay.
I pressed a button.
Okay. Did you just do anything? Did you hear anything? Because I know the other 2 with me didn't. So I just want to know if she did anything. Okay. And because E is, royalty and a noble and all that, she is familiar with a bell sound from a dumbwaiter, even though she never lived in a house like that. She's aware of it.
Correct, yeah.
And so at least she can breathe for half a second. Okay, continue, Adam.
Okay. So, Amelia, as you're inspecting the dumbwaiter, nothing happens.
So fun.
This is fun.
This room to check. Did I check everything?
Yeah. No, I mean, it is a pulley system inside of there. You could probably pull the dumbwaiter up if you wanted to and see if there's anything there. But... I love Adrian shaking her like, no.
For a very long time. Are you okay?
I'm gonna pull it out. I'm not gonna pull it out. I'm just gonna leave.
Okay, so you just bounce. Are you going back out to the platform landing with everybody on the balcony? In here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with everyone else.
Okay.
Hey.
So, to recap,
Oh, hey
we have
guys.
the door, or we have the scuttling or something downstairs that Jayaz is pretty sure she heard. We have the dumbwaiter bell dinging downstairs.
Sure, that's fine.
And now we're back at the top of the house.
Okay, I wanted to check the doors, right across from those double doors.
This one right here? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you come over to these doors. So when you say you're checking the door out, are you doing something else, or are you just going in?
I was just gonna go in.
Okay, so you just pop in.
Okay.
That's a
I was gonna say, this is very clearly a bathroom. This dark room contains a wooden tub with clawed feet, a small
A
iron
wooden
stove
tub.
with a kettle resting on top of
wooden
it,
tub, yeah.
and a barrel under a spigot in the east wall. A cistern on the roof used to collect rainwater, which was borne down the pipe into the spigot. However, the plumbing no longer appears to be working.
Gotcha.
I would have laughed so bad if you thought there was a battle on the other side and you just like burst in and it was just a battle.
There's like the bathroom.
Anybody need to go?
Alright.
I'm less scared now.
Plumbing doesn't work, so we can't go. That's
So-
gross.
Oh, we just couldn't flush.
Like in all rooms, I just want to check to see if like, I don't know, maybe there's like a hidden latch or something in the medicine cabinet.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception.
A potion, hopefully.
18.
Toilet.
Okay. So you're looking around, you're kind of checking in all the different places, in the sink, in the bathtub, under the bathtub. Nothing stands out. It's a little dusty.
Great.
You think to yourself, maybe you should get in the bathtub?
Why would you think that to yourself?
I don't
Yeah,
know, but I'll get. You know what? I'm gonna look around, make sure like nobody followed me in, like kind of like run my hand across the top of the tub and be like, "That's a pretty nice tub." And like, you know when you go to a friend's house and they have a nice shower and you kind of like get in just to see,
Just to see what it's like.
just to see what it's
I
like.
don't do that.
No, nobody. So Jayas is gonna do that. She's gonna like try out the tub to see like
Okay.
how it is.
So you get in the bathtub, kind of put your arms on the side, get nice and comfortable. This is a nice tub,
It's pretty alright.
and that's it. It's just a nice
What
tub.
blood comes from nowhere?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like the shower is gonna be like blood.
What would the equivalent of a bath bomb be in D&D?
A real bomb. Alright.
Like she took
It
out
would
like a
just be
big
like
Paris
herbs and
bath bomb and just like started taking a bath.
Yeah.
Alright, so Jayas is gonna be like, you know, if shit goes south, it's a pretty nice bathtub. Like,
Yeah.
and
You're
then
gonna take the bathtub.
I'm gonna take the no, I'm gonna take the house. It's
Okay.
a little haunted, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So she'll go back out, and I want to check those other rooms as well.
Okay.
Are you just gonna push me aside?
I'm be
I
like,
was gonna say.
excuse me, there's rooms to be.
No.
So there's one over here and there's one down here.
I'll go to the one against the wall.
South side or
This
east?
one?
The west side.
The west, the west wing.
Okay. So you pop in here,
It's always-
and this appears to be a storage room. There's
It's
dusty
like the
shelves
third
that
closet I found.
yeah. There's the dusty
Really?
shelves that line the walls of the room. A few of the shelves have folded sheet, blankets, old bars of soap on them. So if you ever decide to come back and get that bath, there's a cobweb covered broom leaning against the far wall, just kind of chilling.
Nothing standing out. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna roll perception here too, because I don't know. Maybe that broom is dangerous.
It's
Okay.
Or
magical.
it can fly.
Maybe it's just a broom. You don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. As you kind of like inspect the sheets and you're going through the shelves, looking at all the interesting things, you smell the bar of soap. It's actually pretty nice. You're like,
Okay.
oh, this is kind of nice. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, you feel whacked on the back of the head by.
A broom.
Is it really the broom?
Isn't it? Is the broom moving?
Dun, 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 dun,
I need you to go ahead and roll it.
The broom was kidnapped.
You turned into Mickey Mouse.
I was gonna just in there.
Oh my god.
This broom is about to fuck your shit up. Great.
Oh shit!
So, this broom gets. It just suddenly, as you're going through and looking at the sheets and everything, you just get whacked on the back of the head pretty good. You suffer 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
and you kind
come
of
on.
pull some of the
Strong
sheets
room.
down with you. You're like, bang, like pull the sheets down on top of you. Go ahead and take 7 points of damage. Girls in the
dead.
hallway, you hear this going on, and you open the door and just see Jayaz getting beat with his broom.
Can they see me? Because what I was gonna do was put
I was
on
gonna say,
a
did a box
sheet.
fall on her head?
No, I was gonna put on one of the sheets, like a spooky ghost, to go out and scare them. So since like I pulled the sheets down when they walk in, could like I have the sheet over me, and I'm just like,
You know what?
The old Halloween skit with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy when they were trying to get the ghosts out of the house, and they come out covered in flour and they're like all goopy looking ghosts.
I like where this is going. Jayaz, go ahead and roll a deception check, and for all the other girls, please roll a perception check.
Whoa.
I wish I still had that mega charisma.
Okay. So, as you tear down these sheets on top of you, and this broom is just beating the ever-living crap out of you, you kind of like stand up and are putting your arms out trying to grab it. You can't see what's going on, and you're kind of like screaming. Irindil opens up the door first and sees what she thinks, honest to God, is a ghost controlling this broom.
We've seen ghosts before. No, we haven't. But we haven't.
And for at least one turn, you legitimately think that that is a ghost. The two rogues, however, are not fooled.
He hides under my foot. He's like, I see.
Would we see that the broom's attacking her?
You do see that the broom... So the two of you who passed the checks,
Smacking
the broom is attacking her. So the two rogues, please roll a... actually, no. Everyone go ahead and roll your initiative, please.
Okay.
Please
So
do.
now.
Oh no.
There I am. I'm like, where am I? Okay.
No.
Oh, this is good.
I'm about to get owned by a broom.
And me.
And yeah, she's gonna be like, oh, poison
And I mean, it is E's turn, so...
You do think it's a ghost?
Can't wait for this.
What would you like to do?
Alright, hold on. I'm thinking about how I would want to handle a ghost.
Now, mind you, you rolled a number, like, you rolled a 1, so you are convinced thoroughly that
I know. And I'm just trying to think of how I would handle a ghost.
Right.
Oh.
You ain't afraid of no ghost.
Oh, jeez. Hold on. Just one second. Oh.
This is good.
Well, I don't need that one. Oh,
How goes
jeez.
from your learning?
Let's see. I don't want to do. Okay. All right. I'm really sorry.
Oh, what is?
Oh, that. Oh.
I don't speak that
that's-
language.
That's the IT spell.
Yes,
Hold
the
on.
KPBOCUHI. I know that spell. That's a very, very hard
It's
spell.
the dizzying attack!
I think I see what you were trying to do. It was one of your spells, right? Level 1?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me try it and see if it works for me. Nope. Okay. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but...
I could just
Long story
roll.
short, it is Thunderwave.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and roll 2d8.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
We're not in
And
our way, right?
I get
No,
to make
she's
a
not in our way.
save, right?
Yeah, you're. Yeah,
you
you're.
do.
over there.
So, Jazz, I need you to make a, I believe it's a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Perfect. Okay. So you do manage to make the save.
Thank God.
So, what happens is, E flings open the door, and you see this ghost.
I'm one of those
You put your hands together
inflatables.
and just go boom, and there is this clap of thunder that just echoes throughout the upper chamber. It blasts the sheet off of Jayaz completely. Jayaz, I'm gonna say you don't take any damage because this is just hilarious.
I'm
However,
laughing my
the
ass off, by the way.
Fantasia.
The broom is gonna roll its dex saving throw, and it rolls a natural 1, so it is thrown against the wall. behind it.
And splintered and
And
dead.
it just shatters completely. It is
Oh.
blown against the
I was
wall.
gonna say, I want to collect it and give it to Eve. Like, I just want to see you ride around on a broom.
So the broom itself hits the wall, explodes on impact, and then the sheet lands immediately on top of it, fluttering to the ground. Just laying on top of it.
And J.S. is just gonna still be like, just looking where E threw that at her and just be like, like just totally like her brain is like all messed up because like the wind.
Strung out.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Great.
he's pretty shocked.
And then and she's also gonna go boo. Like
I want Amelia and I to be like hanging off each other, just pointing and laughing.
Pretty much.
Like, I'm not scared anymore. That was the best.
Can we check the last door and then go
Yes,
down?
you can.
Okay.
Alright. So, is everyone going into this last room together?
J.S. is gonna,
going.
as
Fine.
usual, go last with her tail
Okay.
tucked between her legs.
Okay, so we have everyone come in.
Hey.
And let me get my reading material back up. Here we go. So, dust and cobwebs shroud an elegantly appointed bedroom. This bedroom contains a large bed, 2 end tables, and a wardrobe. Mounted on the wall next to the wardrobe is a full-length mirror with an ornate wooden frame carved to look like ivy and berries. Through the doors on your right, you'll see when you get there.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then over here you can see another door to a balcony. This one goes out towards the front of the house on the street.
I just want to go out on the balcony just so I can feel like I'm outside again.
Okay. So you go outside, and you are hoping at this point that it would be kind of a breath of fresh air. However, as soon as you step outside, the air is just thick and heavy and cool. Go ahead and roll a will save for me.
A what save?
A will saving throw.
Oh,
How do you even
actually
do
written his
that?
will?
There's a spot on the sheet.
Yeah, there should be a throw for it.
I don't see a will saving
No.
throw.
Let me see. I might be thinking old school D&D.
You might be.
Is that
Is it-
Constitution, maybe?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Good,
Sorry.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well. Right.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you kind of step out, hoping to get some kind of relief, this icy chill kind of crawls down your spine, and you feel like someone's watching. And it's coming from this direction. There's a door that leads into the other room. You didn't go in already.
I'm getting on the earring, like, can you come out here? I need my safety blanket.
I wrap her in my cloak.
Okay.
There's a door right there. Will you go through with me?
Come on, let's get you inside.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go.
Okay. Do you take her into the bedroom, or do you take her?
Yes, I take her in with me.
Okay, yeah, let's go back in the bed. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, I guess we're going in here.
We've done it. What's happening?
It happened.
That's why I asked for assistance.
Okay.
I did it myself.
So, through these doors lies a nursery. Directly ahead of you is a crib, covered with a hanging black shroud. As you approach the crib and look inside, you see a tightly wrapped, roughly like baby-sized bundle just lying in the crib.
No,
No.
No.
Turn and go out and tell them. Go. Get out. Get out.
Okay. So you immediately just nope out of the room.
I'm gonna
Got it.
go check it out because they're like,
Okay.
"Oh, it's a kid." I'm like, "Okay."
no, I don't think it's a kid. I do not think that that's a child.
Check
So,
it out.
Amelia, you come into the room.
No.
You see the black hanging shroud over the crib. And you kind of approach and you look inside, and there's what appears to be a neatly swaddled, baby-sized something. What do you do?
Get out!
Ow! Can I like unwrap it a little bit? Because I don't want to like pick it up without knowing what it is.
So
Your hand in there?
Yeah!
the shroud is on top of it. So you take the shroud and kind of pull it back a little bit.
I have
And
real people bumps, y'all. Like,
as you do, I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me, please. 18. Okay. So, as you move the shroud, you hear this blood-curdling shriek from behind you. And you immediately turn and look, and there's nothing there. But you were kind of expecting something freaky to happen, something a little weird. You've gotten it down, like, this house is not normal. The kids that told you that you needed to find, like, there's a monster in the house, mommy and daddy are in there somewhere, there's a baby in there. You look down, and you're not super convinced that there's actually a baby in there. Do you open the blanket?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you reach in, and as you do, you kind of fold back, and as soon as you touch the blankets, you realize, no, you open it up, and it's empty. There's no baby in there. There's absolutely nothing in it.
Okay.
What do you do?
okay.
Now, mind you, the other girls are in the bedroom, like, freaking out because Ian and Jan saw it, and they're like, nope, 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 nope. They noped out of that room super fast.
I'm just gonna walk back in there, like, why were you guys so freaked out? There was nothing, like, it was nothing.
E is like on like all of her hairs everywhere are like standing. She's terrified
Yeah,
of this house. Okay.
I tell her when I was out there, I felt the hairs just standing on the back of my neck, and I felt this coldness from that room. It told me not to go near it. That's why I wanted you with me to make sure if it was safe or not.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Like,
trying
And
real
a
hard.
black crib is not really very welcoming for me.
No.
More
I
like a
mean,
funeral crib. That's sad.
There was nothing there!
He's trying really hard to be like strong and like a presence of comfort for everybody in the party, but she's real scared. Like, this might not last long.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going in one of these other doors.
Okay. You guys have actually explored everything on this room for the most part. You can search the room for a couple things.
I was gonna say, while they're like freaking out and Amelia is like, there's nothing wrong, I'm a little, not too proud of what just happened. So I'm gonna go
I
over
think
to
you're fixing your braid.
yeah,
While you did that.
yeah, I just kind of
I mean, there's a very helpful mirror right here that can help you do it.
I mean,
I'm gonna look
you
in the
would
mirror
use
to
the
fix my
mirror.
braid. I'll be like,
Okay.
Have we done an Arcana check at all in any of these rooms?
I was gonna check the fireplace and do that.
so yeah, I'm gonna go
The baby
over
call up the fireplace.
over to this normal mirror
Okay.
and fix my braid.
maybe
Okay,
we can
you
use
start-
the flu network and get the fuck out of here.
We still have to check the second floor! I saw someone here!
You guys still need to check the first floor. You haven't even, you started right upstairs.
Okay, well then we'll work our way down.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
safer this way.
That way we flush them out.
Is there
Oh, no.
safety? Safety's an illusion.
Guys, the second floor has 4.
Okay, so Jazz, you stand in front of the mirror, and you're fixing your hair, fixing your braid. While you're working on that, Janaga, you are ready to crawl the crap up this fireplace. And as you look in it, this room has not been well kept. You kind of got the sense that the first floor is really nice. The third floor seems to be like it was kind of abandoned. There's cobwebs.
Face.
Yeah, there's cobwebs, there's ash, there's the logs that are in there look like they're burnt out and rotted. They haven't been used in a really long time. And there's actually a couple spiders just kind of dangling. Yeah, they're hanging out in their
They're
webs.
spiders. I like the spiders.
Do I have a jar? I can put them in there and give them to you.
Yeah. Jazz, as you're fixing your hair,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
you notice on the edging of it, the frame,
Uh-huh.
it's really nicely and ornately carved in wood. One thing you know about this house is that all the wood carvings are kind of bullshit. Something's wrong with them. Would you like to make an inspection check on it?
Oh, I sure would.
Awesome, go for it.
Investigation?
Yes. Nat 20. Okay,
It's because I'm
so
looking at myself. I'm paying more attention.
Of course you are.
Got whacked with a broom how many times? That's
We don't doubt
Yeah.
that.
So you're fixing your hair, and there's like a little flyaway that you're trying to get under control. You get nice and close, you're kind of checking yourself out and fixing it. And as you do, you notice along the etching, what looked like it was ivy and berries appears to have like dismembered human eyes also carved into it.
That's great.
Nothing unusual there. It's kind of par for the course at this point. For some reason, you feel compelled to reach out and grab the sides of the mirror, and you try and wiggle it away from the wall, and it's stuck. Like it's not coming off. It won't remove itself from the wall.
What are you
What?
doing?
I'm just gonna like hold up the hold on, wait.
Don't let her do it.
Can I touch the mirror?
Yeah, you touch the mirror. It's a solid surface.
Okay. So I'm gonna point to it and be like, this is really creepy. I don't know if you guys have noticed that the house is a little creepy, but this is really creepy. And I'll keep yanking on it. Like, why won't it come off the wall?
I'm just gonna look at her and I'm just gonna say, I really don't think that you should do that. Really don't think you should do that.
Be like, is somebody stronger than me? Like, what if there's treasure back here? Like,
Yeah. Adam, can I throw a dagger at the mirror?
Yeah, you can throw a dagger at the mirror.
with me standing right there.
Well, you might want to move.
Yeah,
I'm moving.
I told them, I'm like, move out of the way. And I throw a dagger. What do I?
Go ahead and make a dagger attack. We're just going to consider it a thrown dagger. It's fine.
7.
So 7. I mean, it's a window or a mirror. It's not like it's super hard to hit. So you throw it at the wall. It doesn't land with the bladed part. It manages to hit with the hilt. However, it does what it's intended to do. It hits the mirror, and the spider, it cracks out in a spider web formation, creating cracks and fractures all across the mirror. It doesn't shatter it, and no pieces fall to the ground. However, it's just a mirror.
Okay.
Quick question.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's leave it alone.
My shatter spike, you said it's not that good in battle, but it could be used to bust down things?
Yes. Anything that you attack is considered a critical hit for the purposes of calculating damage.
Can I use shatter spike on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that a cantrip?
It's the name of the longsword from Sir Bradford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you got mad at me because you're like, why are you getting all the talking things?
Oh. Wow.
All right, so 22. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh.
So that's 22 points of damage.
Okay.
So you take Shatter Spike
Oh.
and you swing it at the mirror, and it doesn't come away from the wall still. It's kind of weird. The mirror fractures, all the glass pieces fall on the ground. Behind the mirror, it almost appears to be like plated stone, kind of like really smooth marble or concrete, which is probably why maybe it's just welded to the wall. Like maybe this is a feature of the house that they wanted. Who knows?
And no move in the mirror.
Can we go downstairs, please?
Before we go, can I do an Arcana check to see if there's like a magical thing?
For the sake of saving time, you don't. There's definitely something unusual about this. However, it doesn't seem like you're making any progress.
Okay.
There's a good chance that maybe if you come back after you've explored the house, something will have changed.
Oh,
Gotcha.
crap.
Cool.
What does that mean?
So, I'll turn to Amelia and be like, what was going on the second floor? We just kind of ran up past it.
Nothing.
Check anything yet, but
Do you
That's
wanna...
right, I didn't tell you guys. I saw a person in here before we came in.
We haven't even come across real people yet.
That would have been nice to
No,
tell
I
us
saw
before
one,
we
and that's
ran
why I
up.
ran in. So, oh well. Let's go down to the second floor.
Can we
Okay.
just leave this house?
Find the person I saw in here.
Yeah. The kids said there's a monster, so
Okay, so
Well, the kids ran away too, so.
maybe
So
Alright.
we're gonna move back down to the second
yeah,
floor?
let's go to the second floor. What could
Alright,
go
and as
wrong?
we're going down, I'm just casually saying to everybody, I mean, do we think that those children maybe
Hold on.
were trying to trick us?
I'm gonna move you all at
Yeah,
one
get the
time.
group.
I mean, they had blue skin, so I don't know.
I mean, we have no idea where we are. Like, why are we
We have
doing
no
this?
idea where we are before we even found the house, so like,
That's also true.
we don't know anything.
At least we have a roof over our heads.
Exactly.
Another way to look at it is we are trapped. We are confined. I like to be outside.
Trying to figure out where we were too. Like,
I like just knowing where I am at all times and not waking up to, this isn't the forest I slept in.
Yeah.
mm,
This is not my beautiful house. You're not my beautiful wife.
I'm looking up into like space,
Literally watching the days go by.
and I'm just reveling in the fact that I at least got to see trees for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there'll be a lot more trees later.
Oh god.
Hopefully.
oh yeah, there's trees.
There might be trees in your future. There may be nothing in your future.
I might die going down these steps.
Alright, so
Okay.
as you descend the marble staircase and reach the second story, I'm going to reread the room descriptions, kind of blasted through it the first time. So, across the way from the stairs are unlit oil lamps, which are mounted on the walls of this elegant hall. Hanging above the mantelpiece is a wood-framed portrait of a family. Standing suits of armor flank the wooden doors in each corner of the room. Each one clutches a spear and has a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head.
Can I turn to everybody and say, what if we all take the spheres at the same time? That would
Or
unlock something.
we could not touch anything.
Make no progress.
Oh, so this is a room off the steps? Is that...
Yeah, so there's a room there. There's also a room here. And a room here.
Alright, I want to check the single door first.
This one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Like, I'm
As
gonna
you
look
poke-
at the armor and be like, I'm gonna check this room.
I don't trust you. Okay. So you
Might
pop
be a
through.
room hiding in there. You don't know.
So this is a very undecorated bedroom, very sparse. The beds here appear to be straw mattresses, so just stuffed with straw, very informal. And at the foot of each is a footlocker. There's also a tiny
You got a
box
whole
over
shoe store
here.
in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, two
Sorry.
whole footlockers. There's a tiny 2x2 square against the wall over here as well.
Alright, can I first check the footlockers and see if there's, like, anything in there that give me more information about the house, or...
Like the new Jordans?
Yeah, some Air Jordans, or,
Discounts
yeah.
on summer shoes.
Go ahead and, which one are you opening first? The one on the left or the one on the right?
I'll do the one on the left first.
Okay, so you walk over, you kneel down, and you check the latch, and it is not locked. You flip it open, and it is empty.
Okay. I'll be like, alright. I'll check the other one. I'm kind of assuming, like, 2 little beds, 2 small kids. This is probably the kids' room.
I'd be sad because it's straw beds.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll
I think
check.
those are probably
The servants' room.
quarters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they're
That'd be like-
And a house this
They're-
opulent, unless they're really horrible to those kids.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll
Yeah,
check
this-
the one on the right.
Okay, so you go over, you bend down, and you check the latch on the... You open it. Again, this one's also empty.
Okay. Then I'm gonna check the little door thing.
Okay. As you stand up from the footlocker and walk away from it, something brushes the back of your calf. Kind of freaks you out a little bit. You turn around, there's still nothing there.
The broom pieced itself back together.
Yeah, I'm gonna like kind of do it like
Probably a rat.
yeah,
The
like
bucket.
feel
The
my
bucket.
clothing. Like it's probably just a piece of straw from that pesky broom.
Yeah, you shake out your cloak.
Chanted
There's
broom.
no wooden shards, no nothing. You can't manage to recreate it.
I'm sure this is fine. And then I'll
You
like,
call in Janaga and be like, bro, something just touched the back of my leg. And she's like, bro, did you feel like this?
Like,
She touches the back of your leg. And you're like, no, it felt like this. And you touch the back of her leg.
I'll see you.
I actually just made up that inside joke on the spot. I'm really proud of that. Sorry
Yeah.
for everyone watching. No one's going to get that reference.
Yeah, it's just me and Adam know what's up. Bro, was it like this? Yeah, it's like this. No, it's more like this. Tango. Okay, I'm gonna check the door though. I'm gonna like be freaked out, but I still wanna.
Okay, so you open the door, and you're kind of like your hand's shaking a little bit as you open it because you're like, I don't know what's in here.
It might be more
and
brooms.
You open it, and you recognize it to also be a dumbwaiter. As you open it, there's just a simple pulley system of ropes on two sides, and then there's also a button to the right of it.
First, I'm gonna hit the button.
Okay, so you press the button. Everyone who's standing by the staircase this time, because you're closer to the ground floor, hears the ding bell.
Can I hear it as well?
Not that far.
No, okay.
No.
And then you said there are the pulleys.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna pulley them. And be like,
Okay,
I wonder what could be in here.
So you pull, and as the elevator rises, it has a single plate on it, but there's nothing on the plate. And it's clean, it's pristine, it does not look to be touched.
And like, I don't notice any engravings on the plate. Probably windmills.
There's etchings of windmills on it, as well as
All these windmills.
what appears to be
Frankenstein
a
on top
family
of
name, possibly. So, do you take the plate out and like look
Yeah,
at it?
I want to
feel
look
it?
at the plate.
Okay. So on the base of the plate where it's engraved, it says Durst family.
First. Okay.
Fred Durst? Holy shit.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, this is actually the house of Limp Bizkit.
So that's where all of his dreams went.
That's when I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Limp Barovia. Okay. So I'm gonna like, and I'll take the plate out to the girls and be like,
Okay.
hold it up, be like, I think this house is the Durst family. I think that has something to do with the windmills.
Then I'm gonna be rolling out of here.
Know that like a noble family has their names on their plates.
Since both you and E have some noble heritage, go ahead and roll a history check for me.
I'm adopted, so
I'm legit noble.
There you go. Okay.
Legit.
And E, you also have the benefit of elves have lived for a really long time. Even, half elves are also very familiar with longer than average lifespans.
Well, I'm super old. I'm 126 years old.
Yeah, so you kind of think back, and while it's not any aristocracy or nobility known in your time, a really, we're talking probably a couple centuries before you remember, there were some land barons, like, out way, way, way far away that had a pretty big granary.
Okay.
That was the Durst family, and it would make sense if they had windmills and stuff.
Okay.
You're not super familiar with the family, but you've heard the family name before. You knew that there was father, mother. It was... Hold on, I have the names here. Somewhere. Yeah, so you remember the family last being headed by Gustav and Elizabeth Durst.
Okay.
They were a little eccentric. They often held parties that were very closed to friends and family. They seemed to have a group that they would run with, and eventually they fell out of vogue. No one really heard from them anymore. No one's entirely sure what happened to them or their empire. They haven't been seen in many, many, many years.
Are we talking like hundreds of years?
Yeah, you've never met. Like, you and no nobility that you know has ever met them.
Okay. Did they have any children that I know?
You do recall them having two children. One of them, well, their names were... I want to make sure I get these right because there's actual abbreviated names. So they went by Rose and Thorn. However, their full names were Rosavalda and Thornbolt.
Okay.
Rose of Alva, that's a cute name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
However, you don't
Dead.
remember hearing anything about a third child.
Okay.
We're dead.
Yeah, there was never any baby that you can think of.
Okay.
Now it's worth reminding, there is a portrait over here of the family as well.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
check the portrait.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, who's in the portrait?
Okay. Since you're familiar with the family, why don't you take a look at it? There's no dice check, you just walk up and check it out.
Okay.
Okay. So, as you approach the portrait, it appears to be of the household's family. So you have the two parents here, seen with Rose and Thorn, and they look very similar to the two children you saw outside, almost an exact match.
Okay.
Cradled in the father's arms in this picture is a swaddled baby. You can see the face and everything, like it's definitely an actual child.
It's actually a baby.
Yeah, it's not just an empty blanket. Go ahead and roll an insight check for me, though. 15. Okay. You're not sure if it's just the way that the artist captured the portrait or if it's something that was actually true, but the mother in this photo appears to either be disregarding the baby entirely or almost like scornful towards it.
Interesting.
It's not her baby.
Yeah.
What?
It's entirely possible.
There are servants' quarters here. Daddy might have gotten down with
He did it all for the nookie.
Yeah, the nookie?
Fred.
Keep that going.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Alright.
You can take that cookie. And so anyway, I'm gonna summarize the things that I'm putting together to the girls.
Okay.
But I'm also gonna use my own probably wrong insights into this and be like, I think something obviously something really bad is going on here, but I also want to tell them, wait, hold on, how old the family is.
Mm-hmm.
And also for them to notice that these children look just like the other ones we saw outside. So
I'm sure they can't be the same ones. I mean, unless
they
they're
look
elves.
exactly the same. This is this noble family that I've heard of from hundreds of years ago. Nobody I even know
You
knew
have
them.
families that look similar. Like, I don't know, maybe that's great-great-grandmammy.
Do you
No.
live in a world of just anything's okay?
And like J.S. is still just holding the plate and like that's how she's just like like waving it around.
I think it's time that you munch on some more bread because you are living in a lie. This is
Getting delirious. I think you need to eat something. Especially after that broom beating.
And her head did get hit
got
pretty
knocked
hard.
Oh, that's
While you're discussing and filling them in,
Oh,
you
no.
hear a knocking sound coming from this room. Not like a knock on a door, kind of like if someone had dropped a wooden object or something with some pretty solid mass.
Which room?
Can
This one right here. This direction.
Oh,
It was a soft thump. It was like something that fell, possibly.
let's go in here.
I was just gonna
Going
say,
now.
let's go in the other room.
No,
Okay.
I'm going in the one that I heard the sound from.
I'm gonna go in the not sound room.
Me too.
Okay, so
Split
girls
the
going to
party.
the not sound
We'll
room.
go
I'm
in
gonna
here
move you over
first.
here first,
I'm going there.
Okay.
and then Amelia, I'm gonna move you into this room here.
Going to country.
All right, so
Oh,
gonna
is that a
read-
hawk in the middle?
that is this one here.
No, other behind the jazz. Yes.
Yes,
What is
Okay.
it?
it's a harp.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's let me read you the room. So this room appears to have been some kind of music or dancing festivities room. Gossamer drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Upholstered chairs line the wall, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing beautiful instruments. A harpsichord with a bench rests in the northwestern corner, and near the fireplace is a large harp. Along the mantle of fireplace over here are a bunch of alabaster, well-dressed dancers.
Ooh.
Okay.
I just
Can I
moved
play
out of the way of
the
that
piano?
chandelier because I don't know.
Can I walk over and hit a few notes on the piano?
Yeah, for sure. So as you walk over, do you take a seat or are you just standing there?
I just want to stand and just
Okay, so you
play little
stand,
tunes.
you poke a few keys.
It's got to be horribly out of tune at this point.
I was gonna say, are you typing out? Are you pressing like a little song that you know, like how everyone knows chopsticks kind of thing, or are you just poking around?
Oh my god.
Not chopsticks, but not an overture.
Okay, so just kind of playing around.
Yeah.
So you
Like I
lean
know a couple of chords.
right. So you lean over the bench and you play for a little bit. The harpsichord is surprisingly in tune. Everything on this floor seems like it's been pretty well maintained.
What's a harpsichord?
As you play for a few seconds, you look up and ghostly formations of elegant, beautiful dancers start filling the room.
Haunted mansion.
But you're the only. So you see this.
We can't.
The other girls are kind of still walking around the room, walking through people. They see nothing.
At this point, can I sit down and play a little more?
Yeah, for sure. So you sit down and you keep the notes going, and as they continue dancing around the space, you actually see the two figures from the head of the family enter through these double doors in very elegant formal dress, and they start dancing in the center of the room. Those around them also take up the steps.
Should I join in on the harp? See if that does something else?
Well, now,
And-
I'm sorry, is E, like, telling us any of this, or we're just, like...
I was just doing it just on my own just because I keep staring at it.
Okay.
I haven't said anything yet.
Okay.
I'm just playing. So I guess Janaga would like what I'm playing and try to play along.
Right. Okay. So Janaga, you sit at the harp and you start plucking it strings, and in a matter of moments, you start playing along with the music that you're hearing, but then you also see ghostly figures starting to appear before you, and you already see the two heads of family dancing in the center of the room, and you recognize them from the portrait as well. How do you react?
I'm not scared of this.
I'm staring across from like where E is, and I'm trying to mouth to her. Is that them? Is that them from the picture?
Yes. Yes. And so I'm going to try to get Jayaz's attention to get her to come and sit with me.
Yeah, she's like, what are you guys? Okay, are they in the club? Making music.
And so, can Jayaz play a musical instrument at all?
Yeah, I mean, she's picked up a thing or two in her past.
So I was going to show you, like, a basic chord progression, like, real basic, that you could...
What are you trying to say?
That one. Every 3 seconds.
Because I'm playing the melody over here with my right, and you're sitting on my left, and so I'm showing you like a simple chord that you can just keep pressing that way, because I think that'll trigger it for her to be able to see it. Okay. And I'll be like, just play this.
I feel like, I mean, it's kind of weird. We're in this creepy house, but I'll play the piano.
Okay. So you start playing, and as you pick up the extra notes, you also start to see these ghostly figures form and start swirling around the dance floor. And it's worth noting at this point that all of them have turned in from you, and you can't really make out a lot of their features anymore, but they're still dancing and cavorting around. And you imagine that this is probably what happened. This was probably an entertaining space for when the family used to hold parties and stuff.
Yeah, it's like
this is like a memory that this room has. Yeah. This is amazing. And so,
the girl who didn't even want to go into this house. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, dancing ghosts are fine."
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
as long as they're not hurting us.
There's apparitions. I mean, I don't think this isn't scary.
That's like cool. A rolled up blanket.
And Jayas is just gonna be like hitting the chords, but like she can't.
Okay, so I guess our tune comes to an end, and do they disappear?
I need everyone to roll a wisdom save for me.
Oh shit.
This is
I
not
have
getting
none.
well.
I would like to
Okay.
use my luck, one of
Okay.
my luck points, to
You can use your
re-roll
luck.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. Okay, much better.
One luck
All right,
point
so-
down. I need to write that down.
So as you all end the song, and Janaga, you're kind of following, and you pluck the harp for the last time, the dancers come to a stop. They turn to each of you, and now is the first time you can really get a good sense of their features, those other than the heads of house who are hosting the party. As they all slowly turn and look at those who are playing, almost with a "why did you stop playing" kind of gesture, you notice that they all have masks on. And these are not masks like a masquerade.
Oh,
These are masks like they were probably cut off of someone's face.
Oh god.
And their mouths appear to be drenched in blood, and their teeth appear to be filed down to nubs and sharp, pointy sticks. And like, as they turn and like look at all of you, they lunge forward and then immediately disappear.
When they lunge, immediately, like Jay also is gonna like. Ah!
yeah. I like to think I just like turned and flew into the fireplace.
Okay, so super spooked,
I'm in
but
there now.
because I think E is starting to get a sense of this is just like a haunted mansion. She's gonna start being less afraid and more, I guess. How would I put this?
Have more of an
Like,
understanding.
more willing to
of what's
stand her
going on.
ground.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully. Unless something gets me real good.
Yeah.
Like a broom.
So that takes
Like a
us
broom.
back
Like a
to
broom.
Amelia, who is alone in the library.
It's a library, yay.
We
So,
love
Amelia,
libraries.
you cross into these beautiful oaken double doors. And as you do, you see red velvet draping the cover of the windows in these rooms. There is an exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-back chair facing the entrance, and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in the corners of the room are two overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall. A rolling wooden ladder allows for one to reach the higher shelves more easily. What would you like to do?
Can I perceive if I like notice anything? Because the sound came from here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Nice roll. Okay. So, as you enter the room, a quick cursory glance of the front area doesn't seem to have shown anything that fell on the floor. So you wander down this hallway here, and as you do, you see a book that fell down right about there.
Hey!
And you look up and start checking out some of the titles, and you notice that the books are varied in topic. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of organization to them, but they're books on history, warfare, alchemy, a couple magic books, a couple history books. All of them seem just kind of like a mishmash of subjects. And then there's one book in particular that has a red spine, but there's nothing on it. It's just blank.
Remember
So
the last
you reach
Red Spine
out.
book?
You try and pull it, and as you do, you uncover a secret door. The bookshelf swings away
What?
and opens up into another chamber.
Fell on the floor?
What was that?
On the floor? Or was that just the sound?
Oh no, that was the sound. Was the book that fell on the floor, basically.
Oh, okay.
Fell on the floor.
For some reason, only fell on the floor is what's coming.
Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps going through it here.
What is the book that fell on the floor?
Oh,
Okay, what is the book that fell on the floor? It was a book on the histories of Barovia. As you pulled it open to kind of look through some of the pages, a lot of the ink is smudged or hard to read. Unfortunately, it looks like the book might have been water damaged at some point.
Okay. Earring. And be like, secret door, I'm going in.
Secret door.
Okay.
Wait, I'm coming in. I'm coming in. I don't want to be in this.
Nope, stay there. Bye.
Okay, so Amelia goes into this secret room. The rest of you all come around and rush in. I'm going to move all the tokens here in just a second.
Shit.
Doot, 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 doot. Doot, 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 doot. Cool, we'll just put you all in here. Alright. So, as you enter this secret room, this secret chamber contains more bookshelves packed with tomes describing dark rituals. A heavy wooden chest with clawed iron feet stands against the south wall with its lid half closed. Sticking out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor.
Of course
A
there
piece
is.
of parchment is clutched in the skeleton's left hand. And that is where we're going to take our break, because we are actually way further along than we usually are.
Yeah.
I could use a
Okay.
refreshment on my drink.
Yes.
Everyone could use a breather before we get some more spooky.
Yes, yes,
This is
yes.
so much fun.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
Really good.
So real quick, right before we take our break, if you don't know, we stream for charity. So you can find out about some of the charities that we have been able to collect money for underneath the video here. And then on the side, I don't know which side it's on, maybe this side, maybe that side, you will see right now we are helping support Gamer Giving with their Super Scary Spooktacular. They are currently trying to build a school in, I don't know why I'm looking at the screen, not the camera. They're building a school in Ochuanda, Kenya. So if you want to learn more about them, their link is down there. And also their donation links. And right now you can get some cool rewards for donating. So go check them out while we're on our 15-minute break. So with that, we'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
Thanks, everybody. See you in a bit.
Can people see me?
No.
No.
Let me refresh my page real quick and see if it causes it to load.
Yeah, that's what I had to do.
Oh, yeah, Jenna, I see you now.
Oh, nice.
Jenna, everybody can see
You
you.
see me now?
Wardrobe change.
Hi, Dad.
Nice.
I got you all.
Awesome.
There we go. Dad 76.
It's Dad.
That's hot.
Is.
That's very hot in this jacket.
Charlie knows.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that mask.
That's very
Nice.
cool. We're back.
That's the best I could do with that gun, so.
Alright, we back, fam.
Woo.
Alright, so, before we went to break, Amelia stumbled across a secret room that had a skeleton and a treasure chest in it, as well as some spooky books, which appear to be some kind of like... Well, you'll take a look. You'll see. You'll see.
Ow, Adam, thanks.
You're welcome. So yeah, what would you like to do now that you've discovered Spooky House Room?
He has a scroll in his hand.
He is holding a letter in his leg. And if you grab that, there is a letter sealed with this crest on it.
Ooh,
Oh my! Oh God!
that's fine.
That's not
And-
scary at all.
As you take the letter itself, this is what it says.
Oh, damn!
So, I will read it aloud, since it may not show up well on stream, but this letter is to Gustav Durst from Strahd von Zarovich, and it says, "My most pathetic servant, I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones who brought me to the full land. You are but worms writhing in my earth.
Yeah.
You say that you are cursed, your fortunes spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a stillborn son. Cursed by darkness? Of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarovich."
Okay.
Now, are you
Stop.
reading this aloud to us, or are you just like reading it to yourself?
Oh, I'm just reading it.
Okay.
You don't
Yeah.
know anything.
Before we get too much further, Adrian, you're still muted in Discord. Just heads up.
Whoops.
Hey!
Hey.
Yeah.
There we go. I saw you talking and I checked Discord real quick and was like, nope, there's still a microphone next to her name. Got it.
Holy shit. Okay.
So, as a recap of other items still in this room aside from that, there's the books and the bookshelves, the skeleton, the treasure chest, and yeah.
The skeleton.
Okay, so the skeleton, go ahead and roll a DC investigation check, please. 21. Okay. So the skeleton appears to be human in nature. It looks like as they opened the treasure chest, they might have activated some kind of trap. Closer inspection of the body reveals a couple poison darts embedded in one in the rib cage, 2 in leather armor that it's still currently wearing. As you take a look at where it shot out of treasure chest, it looks like the firing mechanisms have all been worn. It looked like it had one shot of the darts in it, and it's now spent.
Okay. I put the letter into like my pack or something.
Okay.
I guess I'm going to check out the treasure chest.
Okay. So, as you check out the treasure chest, is anyone interested in going through the bookshelves and seeing what's up there?
I'll go through the bookshelves.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I was gonna say yeah, but I'm gonna stay away from the books for now.
Okay.
Don't have fond memories of books.
Next time.
Books.
E, are you gonna? Yeah. E, are you gonna check out the library as well?
Yes.
Okay. So, Amelia, as you are going through the chest, you discover 3 blank black leather-bound books that are worth 25 gold pieces. There are 3 spell scrolls, one of Bless, one of Protection from Poison, and one of Spiritual Weapon. You also find a deed to the house, a deed to the windmill, and a signed will and testament. And I'm going to type all these out in chat to scroll back and see it. As you investigate the will itself, the will is signed by Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, bequeathing the house, the windmill, and any and all of their property to Rosavalda and Thornbolt Durst. And it does not have a surviving clause contract if anything were to happen to them.
If anything would happen to the parents or to the kids?
To the kids. So
Okay.
basically everything passed to the kids. There's no, if anything happens to everybody, what happens.
Gotcha.
A date on it?
Date, yeah.
Where you would assume there to be a date, it just has the family crest stamped. So let me write those out real quick. So, less protection from poison and spiritual weapon.
Now, since Amelia's been holding on to like all the gold and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
do we want like all the paperwork things? Like, should E hold on to them since she's like the bookie one?
I kept thinking, was she holding on to those? I can't remember. I really can't remember.
I remember we had other scrolls. I had taken the one scroll, but I didn't know about the other ones.
Forget, did you use that?
It depends. We can have one person just tracking all the inventory for now
Okay.
and divvy it up later.
Okay.
For those of you who are checking out the bookshelves, all of the books seem to contain rituals regarding fiend summoning, necromancy, sacrificial rituals, all to a cult called the Priests of Eusebius. As you're reading through them and kind of going through the different rituals that are all listed, go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
What kind?
Arcana.
Arcana.
Okay. It takes you some time to go through it. However, all of you are in here kind of investigating. Clearly, this room has a lot of information that's unveiling the history of the household, so to speak. All of the rituals in the books that you're checking out, they don't add up. You're not entirely sure if they would work or not. However, from what you know of spellcasting, communing with nature, and communicating with deities, none of these rituals seem like they should ever function. They're missing core components, either of spiritual or physical nature, to invoke any kind of magic to them. combined with the letter, you kind of get a sense that like this cult may have been trying to do stuff, but was largely ineffectual. Janaga, since you're also going through some of the books, you find a journal that details some of the rituals that happened in this house.
Ooh.
It speaks of a layer below the house that is referenced as the dungeon, the ritual chamber, the sacrificial altar,
Oh boy.
Creepy
and
basement.
then a dining hall, which, you know, I guess if you're going to have a ritual hall, you should have somewhere to eat, I guess.
When's the last time we ate?
Tonight.
There is some discussion of how the parties and entertainment that were thrown as the Dursts went down this rabbit hole of darkness. The parties became less about entertaining their friends and neighbors and more about attracting others to the darkness, convincing and committing them to human sacrifices and communing with dark lords and trying to master powers over death.
Interesting.
Reading this, can I just like, I've read it all to myself and I'm piecing these things together. I just want to roll my eyes and just.
I'm like not gonna say anything, but I'm just gonna like edge over to E and just like show it to her. Be like, what are
Just
you
looking at
this?
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can. Sorry. So I'm just like reading all this and putting it all together, and I'm just like, ooh.
Hold on, now you're starting to break
Okay,
up.
you're
Yeah.
cutting out.
Cut out. Hold on.
They had no idea what they were doing. It worked. None
Okay,
of
there
it.
we go.
Now you said what in the world? I saw that your mouth was
Yeah. And they have no idea what they were
But
doing.
tell J.R. and Janaga that they were trying to get some. They were trying to get into some pretty dark stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Jayas
Okay.
is just like literally as the token shows. She's just sitting
And the
next
things
to
they
the
were
mantle.
trying, it would have taken some pretty disgusting sacrifices.
I heard of a Lord Strahd von Zurovich since I saw his name on the thing.
Do you have your bread?
I've been eating my bread.
So you haven't heard of Strahd yet. However, there was the tale that the Vistani told about their Dark Lord, or the Lord of the, Lord of Barovia, and kind of how he fell to the darkness and the trials that he's gone through. Your character doesn't know who Strahd is yet, however, they might be starting to piece together bits of the story compared with what you just read.
Well, yeah, because you're not the one that brought me to this land. I'm
Right.
assuming.
Right.
Okay.
Um,
Room? Have I checked everything in this room?
yep, that is pretty much everything.
What about the body?
The body she checked just has the
Okay.
darts. It has very old leather armor on. It's no longer functional.
Okay. I heard the darts, but I didn't know that's what they were for.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave the room then.
Okay.
Bye, secret room.
Bye!
So we've officially checked everything on the second floor. The third floor was pretty thoroughly swept over.
Was that a joke, Adam? Was that a sweeping over joke that you just made?
That's great.
Okay. I'll see you.
Yeah.
has left is the bottom floor in the basement.
Yeah.
Floor basement thing.
This book tells me of a dining room below us. Should we
Did,
go check it out?
Sorry, did Amelia tell us what she found?
Oh,
Oh, that.
I'll tell you about the letter and the dead body, but I'm not telling you about the stuff in the treasure chest.
Are we in a party together?
I don't know. Are we? I mean, you did entangle me for no reason.
You're all good.
Okay.
And when she
Then
says
Julia did the same thing.
when she
Her.
says about the dining room, I am gonna say, well, there was like a small dining room downstairs. It had nice silverware.
By the way,
Okay, let's go.
for while we were in the secret room reading and doing all that stuff, that was a short rest. I'll consider that. So, if you have any abilities that recharge in a short rest, or if you'd like to spend some hit die to get some health back,
Yeah,
feel free to do that now.
I had hit die questions
Yes.
because so mine says total of 4, but I only have 1 hit dice. Was that just like a input error? I should have 4 hit dice, right?
Let me see what your sheet has.
Because I think we get 1
yeah.
per level.
Yeah, I think what had happened is the last time that we had used the hit dice to level, people
Okay.
who had spent them might have put some back, and then we never put them back. So,
Gotcha. And how do we use them again? Because I would
just-
like to use some hit dice.
okay, so I just updated everybody's. The way that it works is you roll a whatever the die is, plus your Constitution modifier to get back hit points.
Okay.
You can roll as many die as you have hit die. So, for example, if you're 4d8, you can roll up to 4 d8s plus your Constitution and add that back.
Got you. Alright.
So Amelia's added back 9 hit points. Mandy, you can re-roll that because reasons.
And now I'm confused. Oh, so mine came up a D10 though.
Because yours, so for your hit die is determined by your class.
Oh, okay.
So
we'll
Rangers and
ignore
your
that. That too never happened, guys.
There you go.
I will take that 9.
Okay. So go ahead and add those back to your health pool. If you'd like to roll a second hit die, please do so.
And I will.
I'm 2 points away from full. I'm not going to waste a hit die on that.
Okay. And then what would we like to do? Did we want to go back downstairs?
Sorry, I'm hitting things. Yeah, I want to go back downstairs because there's definitely more things to look at down there.
Okay. Is everybody going down?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I'll tell them about the letter and body.
On the way down.
Be like, have you guys
Begrudging.
heard of? Have you guys heard of someone named Strahd von Zarevich?
No.
I mean, that's a pretty cool name. I'm sure he's a great guy.
I don't know, but like he's pretty important here. And from what the people at the party, well, the campers last night told us, it seems he's the one about. And I showed them the letter.
Okay. I'm going to move everyone down.
Immediately, he is.
You cut out again, and it's just cute watching you mime as a
He
deer.
is like. Oh, can you hear me?
It's cutting in and out.
After E.
Okay. Damn it.
It's funny because like the damn it and everything comes through is fine.
Yeah, that came through.
Okay.
All right. Well, while we do that, I'm going to move everyone down to the first floor. And as a reminder, you have already checked out the dining room.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. So anyway, after did Amelia let E look at the letter, or did she read it out loud or anything?
But I want it back.
Okay. So yes, she did. She just wants it back when she's done.
Fine. Well, after reading it and seeing like the ornate crest and everything, E is rather Twitter-pated
Good word.
for reasons that might come to light later.
He's
Okay.
what?
She's visibly flustered
Yeah.
or irritated.
Well, not irritated. Did you say irritated?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Not flustered, but like something that she didn't expect to happen is like her heart's a little racy, but not because she's scared.
Okay.
You know something we don't know?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. So we're down at the first floor. What would y'all like to do?
Alright, so I checked
Yes,
that.
explore.
Alright, I want to check, like, and Jayos is doing exactly this. She's like, I checked there, I checked there. I'm gonna go for this door.
Okay.
Why do you always find the bathrooms or whatever?
Bathroom queen.
No.
The kitchen.
Exactly.
It's a kitchen. There's a rolling pin.
So,
It looks like a toilet.
You don't keep a
Kitchen,
rolling pin
bathrooms,
in
they
your...
look the same.
so it's a cross section of a stone oven. The kitchen is tidy with dishware, cookware, and utensils neatly placed on their shelves. Work table has a cutting board and a rolling pin on top of it. In the center of the room is a stone dome-shaped oven near the east wall. Its bent iron stovepipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling. Behind the stove and to the left is a very thin door. You also notice a 2x2 square in the bottom right of the room.
Waiter.
That is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just go check the dumbwaiter and make sure, like, yeah, it's definitely the same one. There's nothing else in this one.
Yeah, so you open the dumbwaiter and you are met with the 2 rope and pulleys, given that you had moved the dumbwaiter up to the second floor in the servants' quarters already.
Alright, so I'll be like, alright, as expected.
Do you lower the elevator or no?
No.
Okay.
And then I'll go check first, like, I guess I'll just, like, kind of see if anything, I mean, the whole house feels off, but if anything, like, feels particularly sinister about this kitchen.
Nothing seems to be out of place. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
You think by now I would know exactly where that was on the sheet, and every time I have to
It helped me so much because I know it's all in alphabetical order now. So I'm like, I can alphabetize.
Durher. There it is.
There you go. Alright. So, you look around and kind of check things out. You notice that the room appears to be pretty normal. Do you go into the door in the back?
Yeah, I want to go check out the back door.
Okay, that'll be some of the same check then. You open this door and it leads to the pantry. Now, the pantry is full of
Rooms.
non-perishable food items. You see crackers, some dry cheeses, dried fruit, and there is surprisingly still some pretty good-looking bread in here, actually.
Oh god.
So
You notice 3 baguettes.
Eat
You're
it.
curious.
3 baguettes? Well, I'm gonna take all of them.
Okay.
So Jayos is gonna, like, take the baguettes first, obviously. She's like, fuck yeah. Don't know when we're gonna find a bakery. But then, since we don't know, like, where we are, obviously no one's living in this house, she's gonna take some of the other, like, the dried rations and stuff.
Okay.
For just in casers.
Okay. Do you try any of the food now, or are you just storing it for later?
I'm storing it for later, unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Never asked me where this food came from.
Alright, so, that's pretty much all you found in the kitchen. As you come back through on your way back out,
The bucket attacked her this time.
Now, as you come through here, you get the sense of like freshly baked bread. It's not very strong, pretty subtle, but you notice it.
I got a nose for it.
And then you come back into the main room, into the grand entrance chamber.
And when I come out, I want to be eating now one of these like fresh baguettes. Like,
Oh, you're eating one of the baguettes you found in there?
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna stare at her like, how do you know that's not like remotely poisoned?
Well, it's bread.
But it's bread.
It's never caused her any harm.
Yeah.
Bread, baguettes wouldn't do me wrong.
Oh.
It would never.
So you take a bite of the baguette, and it's not stale, but it's hard. Just
Okay.
probably because it's been sitting there for a couple days, you assume. And as far as flavor goes, like, you've had baguette before, and you've had baguette on varying ranges of
I'm a
fantastic
connoisseur, if
to
you will.
meh. This is definitely on the meh side of the scale, almost bland. Like, it seems to lack any kind of flavor to it. It's sufficient, but it's not great.
So I'm just gonna like, I'll still eat it, but I won't be as happy about it.
Understandable. Okay, what else would everyone like to do?
Why are you eating it? You don't know
What
where.
doors have we already checked?
So you've checked everything except for this room here.
And let's go in there.
Alright.
What else could come at me this time? Whoa!
Well,
Pretty room.
So, you pop into this room, and you see an oak-paneled room that appears to be a hunter's den of sorts. Mounted above the fireplace is a stag's head, and positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 stuffed wolves. 2 padded chairs, draped in animal furs, face the hearth, with an oak table between them supporting a cask of wine, 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum. A chandelier hangs above a cloth-covered table surrounded by 4 chairs. 2 cabinets stand against the wall, one basically right in front of you and one to your left.
I just keep thinking
I
those
saw
poor
Raiders.
wolves.
Don't drink from that cup.
No, I was not. I was not.
I mean, we all saw Raiders of the Lost Ark. Don't drink from that cup.
I've never seen it.
Can I do like any kind of perception check on this room?
Yeah. Well, are you looking for anything in particular, or just kind of looking around?
Just looking around. Anything
Okay.
that might put a glint in my eye.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
Ooh.
22, nice. Alright, so as you go around, you're checking the room out. The wood paneling in this room does not change, which is actually nice for once.
Yes. I found the lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're kind of checking it out. The pipe rack doesn't have any pipes on it. The hearth appears to be well kept and unused. You're checking out the 2 wardrobes. One of them appears to be locked. The other one you open is mostly empty, but it has a pack of playing cards in it, as well as assortment of wine glasses in there as well. And they all seem pretty nice. They have the etchings of a D shape on it, kind of imagining for the Durst family name. Oddly enough, as you open the one cabinet and close it again, you're not entirely sure, but you're pretty sure the wolves like kind of shifted stance a little bit. Maybe they're following you across the room with their eyes. That might just be a trick of the mind. You're not entirely sure.
I fare better with wolves than whatever I'm feeling right here. So
We'll say
Remember
you're-
when
Yes.
J.Osh heard things downstairs?
I will get on my earrings and say this place seems like a nice little area for us to join in. So if you'd like to come in, please.
J.Osh
Okay.
will go in because she likes
Yeah.
rooms.
You can
Okay.
you can come in here and eat the rest of your bread.
Be like, well, it's kind of
There's a
meh.
little table
He
there. Just
hates taxidermy.
Yeah, she's gonna have a hard time with this room.
He hates taxidermy, so she's pretty disgusted
As I can imagine.
because she doesn't understand why people use animals as trophies.
Right.
I keep looking at Amelia's character. I'm thinking like she's just sitting on that the cabinet right there. Like, this is my chair.
This is the wardrobe that's still locked, by the way. The other one was the one you went through and kind of checked everything out, had the playing cards in it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Off and on, yeah.
Yeah, it comes through breaking up every once in a while, but
I
Can I do
Discord
like
on my phone.
Can I do like a check on that chest before I even try to use my thieves tools on it?
yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay.
$15. Okay.
I feel like the wolves are
So
here for a reason.
you take a look at the wardrobe. Amelia's kind of sitting on top of it, looking down at you like, what are you doing?
I love it.
You knock on it on a couple places just to make sure it's not trapped or anything. It appears to be fine. You keep an eye on the wolves because you're pretty sure that you saw them move, but there hasn't been any change.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Can I do an Arcana check on the room?
I was actually gonna like
Sure.
just turn to you like, can you keep an eye on them for me?
Yeah,
That's
go
what I
ahead
was trying to do, but
Yeah. I know you.
Okay.
so stunned by the atmosphere, I couldn't speak.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your Arcana check.
There you go.
Yay.
20, okay. So you kind of reach out and you... Would E be averse to touching wolves or no?
No.
Okay. So the one that you're currently standing next to, you kind of run your hand along the pelt and reach out with your force of will, trying to feel any sorts of traces of arcane energy or unnatural magic in the air. There doesn't seem to be anything supernatural about this room.
Okay.
Alright, then I'm gonna use my thieves
As
tools.
opposed to all the other rooms, this is the room that's not supernatural.
This one's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm not. I will tell them that I'm not absolutely convinced that there's not magic afoot here, but there could be other sources at work here that I just cannot sense.
Okay.
So trust your intuition.
Yeah.
Alright, Janaga, go ahead and roll your Thieves' Tools check.
Ooh.
20. Alright. So it is not a complex lock on this. You have a pretty good feeling that, you just reach in with your lock-picking stuff, pop the lock, open it up, and it is indeed a hunter's sort of wardrobe. You find a heavy crossbow, a light crossbow, and a hand crossbow, and 20 bolts for each weapon. This is probably whatever the family used when they decided to go out hunting, the items or implementations they would use to do their thing.
Does
That
anybody
hand crossbow
want a crossbow?
is real cool.
Does anybody want a crossbow? I feel like I'm getting all the cool stuff.
E slowly raises her hand.
The crossbow and all the goodies.
Okay. Alright, so E, I'm going to add a crossbow to your character sheet here. Give me 1 second.
That is so cool. Okay,
Like,
so
I feel
the
bad.
hand,
I'm getting all the like good shit.
well, the
Alright.
hand crossbow, like, can I hide it in my sleeves? I don't
I'm gonna
know what
say
it looks like.
It's probably a little bit too big. I mean, it's probably like too long with a bow on the front, but it's got the
Okay.
trigger mechanism underneath, so you can basically hold it, point and shoot, and then reload
Okay.
another crossbow bolt.
Oh, okay. So rather than a handgun, it's a hand crossbow. I get it.
Right.
Okay.
I like my bow. You have the crossbow.
Okay.
Crossfire.
I like my daggers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
Dude,
want
we
one that's
got
so
it.
bad.
I'm sorry.
I had that when I was a kid. It was the best thing ever. The marbles never stayed on the thing, and you always ended up with the other person. Anyway.
I digress.
Next, we're going to talk about pogs, everybody.
Oh my god, I
I
have
don't
a
know what
sickness.
that is.
slammers
I
ever.
found all my old pogs in the basement. Don't even.
Let's go play
Meanwhile,
Pogs.
Charlie's like,
Forget
"What is this?"
Strahd.
Oh, that is.
I was gonna say Charlie probably has no
No
idea
idea.
what we're talking
Yep.
about.
Alright. So, you check through the rest of the room. Nothing stand out.
Okay, let's go.
Mandy, did you see the private message I sent you earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So did all of the stream.
That's fine.
So at this point, then, Jayas is gonna just be like, something's not adding up. Like, house is super creepy. These kids look like those kids. The people died. The skeleton, like, going around. And she's gonna think about the mirror and be like, I think we missed something with this mirror. And she's gonna want to go back upstairs to it.
Alright.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go too.
Like,
Alright, so we're going back up to
Same with mom.
the mirror room. Alright, let's teleportation! And or just moving really fast. Okay.
A montage of us running up and down the stairs like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a montage?
We got our cardio in. We're good.
So,
Gotta work off these
Get up.
carbs.
you get up to the room, and as you poke your head in, the mirror fixed. It's pulled itself back together. And this time, when Jayaz reaches out and touches the side of it to move it, it actually slides open like a door and pulls off of the wall.
And just with that face as she's opening it, she's gonna look at them like, I told you! I told you it was weird!
So, as you open the mirror,
Can I shove her in? Just be like, come in.
Drop kick her in.
just shove.
There might be more brooms in here.
No, it's the dustpan saying you heard our friend.
Yeah. As the mirror pulls away, it's dark, but you can see stairs leading up to the right.
Okay.
And as you ascend the stairs, it brings you up to the attic.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring all the girls up real quick. Okay. So, this bare hall is choked with dust and cobwebs. There's several doors. One here, one here, one here, and one here.
Okay. So
It's also worth noting at this point that as you were climbing the stairs, the house let out a long groan, kind of like as if it was being blown by the wind.
nice.
However, you would swear that the house is almost chuckling at you.
So you said there's like a thick dust up here.
Yeah.
Could Jayosh, since she is like a ranger and has tracking, like can she see in the dust if there's like footprints, drag marks, like any indentations?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a survival check, please.
I like to think Stroud's up, like, way up top, just like with one of those giant horns. Just like laughing into it so it just sounds real deep.
So it sounds like it's laughing.
Like a Yoda.
Pay no attention to the man.
So, a 9. You look around the room, and there is not a single footprint anywhere. The dust is completely undisturbed and been like that.
I'll be like, oh, alright, I'm sure this is fine. Then I want to check the southern room first, kind of like work in an order.
Can you ping which one you wanted to go to?
Yeah, the east one.
Okay. So Jayaz, you're checking out the bottom one. Is everyone going with, or are you all checking?
I'm not gonna go with her.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to check this room out.
I'll go
Okay.
with Janaga.
Let's each
Okay.
go in a different door. What could go wrong?
feels
Split up gang.
insecure,
Search
so
for
I'm gonna be her
clues.
blanket.
Yeah.
Right now. You guys are on that one. JS is on that one.
Mhm.
I guess I'll go to one that they're not checking out right now.
Okay. So there's the one right behind you, and then there's the one right behind E. There's two different ones.
Behind me.
The one behind you? Okay. So first things first. We'll say Jayaz goes to her room first. This appears to be a spare bedroom. The dust-choked room contains a slender bed, nightstand, a small iron stove, a writing desk with a stool, a wardrobe, and a rocking chair. A smiling doll in a lacy yellow dress in the northern window box, cobwebs draping it like a wedding veil.
The wedding veil.
This is fine. So Jayas is gonna like walk around the room. You said there's a desk. Like, oh,
There's the desk here.
she's not gonna make eye contact with the doll yet. Like, she's gonna save that.
In case you were curious, the doll's actually right here, and you can see it staring at you.
Does it follow her around the room?
It might.
Jayas is just gonna kind of like try really hard not to look
I'm
at
gonna
it.
laugh. I'm gonna laugh so bad. I just want it to be like we're about to go in our room, and then you just come out with a doll just attached to your face.
Don't do it.
What is wrong with you?
So I wanna check the desk first
Okay.
and see if there's like any
Why does the house hate
notes,
you?
papers, that kind of stuff.
Go ahead and
It's like Monster
roll
House.
a investigation check.
Ugh.
Oh my god, I get such
Well.
low numbers.
Investigation 8. Okay. So you check drawers and stuff, and there's nothing of note. There's a couple pieces of parchment paper, and there's an ink bottle with a quill that you could theoretically take if you wanted to.
Alright. What besides the doll was like there's a nightstand and a wardrobe? Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's a nightstand next to the bed here, there's a tiny stove here, and then there's the wardrobe here.
Alright. Starting with the nightstand, I want to check all of them before getting to the doll.
Okay. Is Jayaz, like, climbing over the bed to get there, or is she going around the bed?
You know what? I think she probably would climb over the bed at this point.
Okay. So you climb over the bed. And you check out the nightstand. There's a candle on it that is not lit. You imagine that was probably to provide light for whoever was staying in the room. However, there's no note there.
I'm gonna take the candle for the future.
Okay, so you grab the candle.
Mm-hmm.
Does it emit a black flame?
Alright, so there's nothing else then, just the candle.
That's it.
Alright, then I'll check the stove, make sure, like, you know, nothing creepy in the stove.
Oh yeah, except dead bodies.
Yeah.
So the stove is small. You expect that this was meant to provide warmth to the room during the cold winter season. However, it is currently cold and lifeless.
Okay.
It just seems to be breathing a chill into the room.
Okay. Then I'm gonna check the wardrobe. But, like, I'm not gonna turn my back to the dog. Like, I'm gonna be like, I wanna check this, but...
Okay. So you move over this way, keeping your eye on the doll, and you open the wardrobe, and it's empty. You look back to where the doll's supposed to be. The doll is now gone.
Mother.
Lit your candle, and as soon as you see it, throw it at it.
Oh my god.
I'm immediately going to, like, have, like, my shorties grasped in hand.
Okay. You have your short swords out.
Yeah. And, like, I'm looking around, and, like, seeing where it could have gone. Like, maybe it
Did the rocking chair just move?
Shut up!
Could I use, like, athletics or acrobatics to, like, bolt out of this room?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a roll.
Oh, please.
Which one? Athletics, I guess?
Do acrobatics, because you're going to have to jump over that chair.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got obstacle courses in your way.
Almost one of
Okay.
people failed, but okay.
So, you
Same,
basically start to panic. You slam the drawer of the wardrobe shut. You book it towards the door. You manage to get to the door. You fumble with it a little bit because it had closed. You manage to open it, close behind you. And you are back against the door, like, had it pinned.
And I'm like,
And I'm just looking across, like, what the hell is wrong with
I'm
I'd
gonna
be
me?
look
like,
right around the corner, like, what happened to
creepy
you now?
fucking doll. It's like 1 foot tall, yellow dress, creepy wedding veil. Don't go in there.
Okay.
I'll remember what that doll looked like. Okay.
Now,
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
for the sake of things happening at the same time,
Yeah.
before any of you had the opportunity to do that, E and Janaga have gone into their room.
Oh.
Oh.
Amelia,
That's-
you try to open the door in front of you, however, it's locked. You can make an attempt to unlock it if you'd like.
I won't do that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a lockpick check for me. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. You were in the library. You found the key in the library itself. So you have this key that you try on the lock, and it pops right open.
Like, oh, I wonder
Awesome.
what this does. Oh.
So we'll get to that one in just a second. So, E and Janaga. This appears to be a storage room. It's a dusty chamber, and it seems to be packed with old furniture. Everything has thrown over it, and they're all covered with dust. The sheets appear to have not been disturbed in a very long time.
It's dead body.
There is an iron stove directly in front of you. And that's about it.
Is that a window?
Right here, yes, that's a window.
Okay. Okay, nothing to say. Let's leave.
I'm gonna make a perception check
Okay, go ahead and roll.
for this room.
13. Okay. So, as you buy the sheets, you're kind of like checking underneath a few of them, and it's various pieces of furniture. There's chairs, coat racks, a couple standing mirrors. You pull back one, and it's a dress mannequin, which kind of gives you a little bit of a heart palpitation for a second because you thought it was a person. And as you're checking out the stove, underneath of the iron stove is a wooden trunk. Pull out. It does not have a lock on it. It looks.
E, do you want to do an Arcana check on it? Because why would it be hidden under the stove?
Nice.
Well done. So, you hold the box and kind of reach out with your force of will, and there doesn't seem to be anything about it that's magical in nature. However, while you're sitting there focusing, kind of holding it, you think you smell something that's a bit coppery. You're pretty sure you know what it is.
What is it?
It smells like dried blood.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it blood? Okay, so,
You can stand behind me as I open this.
okay,
Sure.
I really don't think that you should open this.
Open it. Open it.
Alright,
I'll open it.
Janaga, go ahead and open up the chest, and I need you to make a medicine check for me, please.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Haven't used that one yet.
No.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
I had medicine on there.
You open the top of the chest, and inside is a bed sheet that is wrapped tight, and it's stained through with what was probably once crimson blood, which is now turned brown and like
Black.
dried and gross. As you start kind of like touching the non-bloodied parts and pulling away, a series of bones scatters to the floor.
Are they child size? Are they like
They're not.
infant sized?
E, do you want to make a medicine check as well?
Ugh.
I just like child size.
Okay.
It's a little
So-
bit.
These are definitely not children's bones.
Okay.
They appear to be about the same size as a woman.
Okay.
There are
Like
several
that.
notches in the bone that are
Okay, so she
unnatural.
was hacked to death. That's great.
I already have my suspicion that the wife may have killed the woman that he got pregnant.
Huh. So I guess we're talking about this together.
Yeah. This is one of them. Yeah.
As you
Well,
disturb the bones, one of the sheets at the far end, you're pretty sure, has moved. You're not sure if it was just a wiggle. Maybe there's something underneath.
No. So
I'm getting on the earring.
I haven't found the
That's
woman I
also
saw
something
in
on
the
here.
window.
You guys want to come in for backup?
can I just like thunderwave the whole room?
You can.
I want to
It
see
might be the kids! It might be the kids!
Done.
You absolutely can.
If it's the children, okay, at this point, E is not concerned about those children because she's convinced that they're not children. If they are still like the spirits or whatever, they're completely unnatural.
Okay, so
She's
you
not
think
worried
they're
about
hiding
her.
under the sheet?
Like,
What if it's J.S. under those sheets? You don't know.
she's not in
I do
here.
not see you come in the room.
That's stealthy.
Alright. So, as you kind of bring your hands forward and let out this thunderous boom throughout the room, Amelia and Jayaz, you can hear it from the outside. Janaga, you are ready for it. You have your ears covered and you're out of the way.
Let her rip.
All of the sheets are flung from the objects that they're covering. And it doesn't unveil anything unusual. However, as you do, this shrieking specter comes forth from the floor.
Oh my god.
And real quick, Adam, when that
Yeah.
happens, since this is all kind of happening at once, can we have at the
The doll
right
is
when I
gone.
notice the doll's gone is when I hear the
Yeah,
thunder
absolutely.
wave, and that's why I like.
Boom!
Okay.
So, this specter starts coming up and it's pulling its way through the floor, and as it does, it's blasted backwards. It suffers.
Because of me?
Yeah, it suffers 5 points of thunder damage.
Look
Off
at
of that, and is flung backwards towards the window.
you!
Can
I
it
would
just
like.
go through the window?
It at this point appears to have corporeal mass, which is kind of weird. Go ahead and roll initiative.
What's corporeal mass?
It's solid.
Okay.
Is that what I saw? Or no?
Technically, yes. This is the specter of the owner of the bones, who Janaga has successfully guessed was the nursemaid that.
Had the
Yeah.
illegitimate child.
Uh-huh.
Drama in the haunted house.
Alright, let's see here.
Dynasty of them.
What the hell?
Alright, Jayaz and Amelia, you can go ahead and roll initiative so
Also,
you'd like to
okay.
get in on this.
Oh, okay.
J.S. is just like.
I mean, I didn't want to.
Yeah, because you've all heard the thunder at this point.
Way to waste my
Smiling.
net 20.
You know,
Right?
it's initiative, but jeez.
Okay. So, Jayaz, you're up first. You're basically, your heart is racing in your chest. You just run out of this room. The doll is missing. You heard this loud bang come from the room next to you that you're pretty sure E and Jan have gone to. What are you gonna do?
How far is it to get into the room?
It's about 25 feet.
Okay, so I can move there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just take a brief second to be like, still got shit to do, and I'm gonna run into the room behind them to see what's
I
up.
want to think that Amelia's just laughing under her breath, I can't believe.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get there, and I'm gonna see this thing, and look at both of them, and give them the what the fuck. But
And I'm gonna look at you what the fuck with you?
yeah.
Why are you out of breath?
And I guess I still had my short swords out, but I can't make it over there with enough steps. So I guess I don't. In the moment, I think I'm gonna just drop them to the side so I can quick grab Lego Yas.
Okay.
And aim at it with Lego Yas.
Okay.
Lego Yas, go!
15. A 15 hits. Go ahead and roll for
Yeah.
damage. 6 piercing. Okay. So, As you take a shot and it flies across the room, it slams into the body of the specter and hits right in its stomach, and it clutches down and forward and looks up at you with hate in its eyes. It suffers 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And is there anything else you'd like to do?
As a bonus action, would I be able to, like, gingerly pick up my short swords and put them back in their sheaths?
So, technically speaking, you could have done that as the bonus action from the first place.
But it was.
So we'll just say that's what you did.
It was no. It's more cinematic. I was like, ah.
Okay. So you throw them, and then you bend back down and like swoop up real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Amelia, as you feel the key turn and unlock the tumblers, and the door clicks open, you hear this
And I'm like, what the
boom
fuck
from
is
behind
that?
you. What would you like to do?
In there.
Okay.
And
So
push
you kind of
Jayaz out of the way.
your head turns as you hear this noise, and you kind of sprint the 10 feet down to the door, and you see Jayaz just kind of run right by you as well. Let's drop you in here as well. A little bit of a tight space, so we're going to try shuffling some people around. You come in, and you see this purple and pinkish ghost that is now clutching an arrow in its belly and looking at Jayaz with hate in her eyes, kind of thing.
Well, that's nothing new.
Hey, it's the thing I saw. I told you I saw something. I throw my daggers at it.
Okay, go ahead and throw a dagger. And are you throwing both or just one? Both? Okay, go ahead and throw the other one.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so go ahead and roll damage for the first one. 5 piercing. Okay, so you withdraw both your daggers, you hurl them across the room at the same time. The one that you're throwing with your dominant hand manages to strike it in the shoulder. The one that you throw with your non-dominant hand actually manages to catch one of the pieces of furniture, and it lands somewhere over here, but it's dark. You're not quite sure where it's landed.
Remind me to pick that up when we're done.
Yeah.
The Spectre suffers 5 points of piercing damage. E, it is now your turn.
I'm gonna try out my new hand cross.
Oh.
Do it. 13
It's
hits.
better than my
Okay.
scimitar.
So you pull out this new crossbow, and it's already got one bolt loaded for you. You take aim. You kind of steady it with your other hand because this is new to you. You take a shot, and the kickback of the crossbow, the bolt kind of slams forward, and it launches itself, and it manages to catch the specter right in the heart, right here where the heart would be. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay. So
I'm new at this.
through. Yeah, it pierces through. However, the specter appears to have tried to avoid most of the damage at this point and has gone incorporeal. All of the items that were sticking out of it, so Jayaz's arrow, Amelia's dagger, clutter to the floor, and your arrow passes through. However, it does seem to do some damage as it lurches forward to get out of it. It suffers 2 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Five to attack.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Janaga, you are up.
I'm just gonna use my short bow from here and see what happens. I really don't want to get close to this thing.
Right?
Okay. Go ahead and take a shot.
Well,
So, as you launch your crossbow and fire, or your short bow and you fire it, at this point the specter has gone completely intangible, pulls away from the wall. The bolt that had struck it from E also clatters to the floor. Your arrow just passes straight through its body.
kind of figured that was gonna happen. But I don't
Now-
want to get close to it.
Is there anything else you would like to do before your turn ends?
No, I'll turn to Amelia and say, when this is done, if it's still dark in here, I'll find your dagger for you. I have my dark vision.
Okay. So as you do, the specter, who is now floating in the air, its hair is wild,
Oh my god.
its eyes are crazed, and it lets out this shriek as it starts going through the various pieces of furniture, and it reaches out to you with long, rakish fingers, and it tries to make a touch on you, and it manages to grab on. And as it does, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Which one?
So on your character sheet under save, Constitution should be in the top left.
Oh, for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh.
21. Okay. So
Hot dang.
as the
I'm
hand
afraid of
reaches out to you, and you see her arm reach
Be afraid. Very afraid.
as you see her arm reach out, it doesn't just touch you, but it passes through your body, reaching into your chest. And you feel this icy cold touch as her arm withdraws, and you can feel the life force being pulled from your body. It's cold. You suffer 9 points of necrotic damage. However, you steel yourself and continue to like hold your ground.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at you like, you know something happened to me, didn't you?
Jayaz, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Now I have a question. Is Janaga still holding the bones?
The bones have clattered onto the floor from when she had opened up the sheet, basically.
So
gonna
where's
say, I am not
that?
holding
That's
the
on the
bone.
other side of the room.
The bones are like right here, because it was under the stove.
Would it be possible for Jayosh to like strike a fire and try to light the bones?
All supernatural.
Yeah, you can try to do that.
Same way I was.
Okay. So that's what she's gonna do. So I guess if they're like, she's gonna look at the specter and be like, but I've seen this.
Candle.
Well, that's
can-
I took the candle, but I also have like tinder and stuff for traveling.
Okay.
By the way, that's it.
So yeah, she's gonna take a step forward, like even though she knows this is probably a bad idea, and she's gonna like strike on the, whatever the flint, like that thing that makes the spark. She's gonna
Flint and
like
steel.
Flint and tinder.
yeah, she's gonna strike that and like drop it onto the bones.
Okay. So you try to get a fire going. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
Survival. Okay.
Good at this. Come on.
15. Okay. So you manage to catch the sheet on fire, which is on top of the bones. Starts to smolder and smoke starts to fill the room. Like it's starting to kick up black soot, kind of.
Okay. And that's it.
Yeah, I would say that was your action. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think I have a bonus. Let me see real. Yeah, I think that's all I can really do right now.
Okay. Amelia, you're up.
It was worth a shot.
Okay, short bow attack. That does succeed. Go ahead and roll damage for me. 8 points of piercing. Okay. So, as the hand is being withdrawn from Janaga, the specter has had to retake its corporeal form in order to reach in. You line up your short bow, you let an arrow fly, and as you do, it pierces through the specter, and it lets out a shriek before it vanishes completely.
Yay!
I'm gonna look at you like, so I'm the bait now.
Welcome, guys.
I'm sure it's really gone.
We need to crush those bones.
Yeah, I
Back
tried.
to the library.
I
I mean,
just
whatever
wanna- Fire's still
where I was trying to look at before you guys started stuff again.
And while we're all here, before she leaves, I'll be like, by the way, creepy doll, yay high, yellow dress, wedding veil, on the moon.
I almost thought.
I just look at her and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And just leave. Like, I just shake my head at her, like, you're so crazy. Like, I don't understand you.
Like, I almost thought with the mannequin that I found in here, I was like, is it?
And now,
Okay.
like, now that, like, the moment's over, Jaos realizes, like, she had stopped with her back to that room, so, like, the doll couldn't get out, but now they've been in this room.
The
So,
door's open.
that bitch could be anywhere.
It's a doll. It's a little a lot better than a specter.
So, like, she's gonna hang out with Ian Tanaga now. Like, she's not gonna
keep
go on her own anymore.
Okay.
I'm everybody's mama.
Okay. So combat is over. You're gonna stay in here. Amelia, are you going back to the other room?
The one I just unlocked and haven't been able to go into yet because some people
Yes.
like to
That
call
one.
upon specters.
Well, somebody likes to look at bloody cloth. And
Hey,
and
you
do it.
saw the thing. You're the one that wanted to come investigate.
I was trying to save the children.
No children.
I mean, you could go outside and look for those children.
They're like undead.
Okay. So Amelia comes into the room that was locked, and this appears to be the children's room.
Oh.
And that
This room contains a bricked-up window, flanked by two dusty, wood-framed beds sized for children. Closer to the door is a toy chest with windmills painted on its side, and a dollhouse that is a perfect replica of the dreary edifice in which you stand. These furnishings are draped in cobwebs. Lying in the middle of the floor are two small skeletons wearing tattered but familiar clothing. The smaller of the two cradles a stuffed doll that you also recognize.
Dad.
Well, I mean, who wasn't wrong?
I tell E not to come in this room.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
For the conversation she had with what's her face or whatever.
Ah. Or you snuck in my room and read my letter.
I mean, I'm a rogue. I know all. So, just do a quick perception check and make sure like nothing's in here, and then I want to get out.
Yeah. 13. Okay. So, as you are taking a look at all the things, you kind of sidestep the skeletons on the floor. You check under the beds. You check the beds themselves. Nothing is there. The toy chest. Do you open it, or are you just doing like a cursory glance?
I'll open it.
Okay. So you open the toy chest. There's, there's some toys in there. Little toy cars made of wood. Little soldiers. That's pretty much it. Just, general children's toys. And the dollhouse, as you get closer and take a look, do a investigation check for me, please. Also 13. Okay. So, as you're taking a look, you have already recognized that this house is basically modeled after the dollhouse is modeled after the house that you're currently in. And as you're looking on the current floor, you can see all the rooms throughout. However, there's a room off of the storage room that is in the house that you didn't see in the room when you were in there before.
So, okay. Can I take the blankets off the bed and put them over top of the skeletons?
Yeah. Yeah, so you take the blankets and you kind of lay them over the bodies, or the skeletons. As you do, the actual ghosts of Rose and Thorn appear before you. And they kind of very softly go, "Please put our toys away. Those aren't yours to play with."
Okay, I'll put them away.
Thank you. Have you seen Mom and Dad? They've locked it. They put us in the room to be safe from the monster, and so hungry.
Seen Mom or Dad?
Okay. I'm gonna kind of hang around for a moment. As Rose is drifting and looking at her dollhouse, it's kind of like playing with them a little bit. the kids seem to kind of go about playing with their toys.
Mhm.
They haven't really. They seem to have kind of forgotten you. Otherwise, they seem pretty content to keep doing what they're doing.
Um. I'm just gonna leave the room then.
So you kind of very quietly
you guys
back
stay
out.
in here. I'm gonna go look around.
As you kind of leave, Rose kind of reaches out and says, "No, please don't go." But as you close the door behind you, they don't follow you out of the room or anything. It seems like they're just there.
Are you gonna tell me why you didn't want me to go in there?
I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
Okay.
Jeez.
I trust you.
Alright. So
Storeroom? Extra room? That we didn't see when we went
yeah, I
in
was
it?
gonna say, do you
Yeah, we've got one more.
No,
Yeah,
we
like
didn't
the
go
cross-
here, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
We all go in that one together?
Yeah, so Jayos is gonna lead the way to the other door, hoping that the doll hasn't gotten ahead of them.
The kids, wasn't it?
I want to say it was the one that
Probably.
the woman was clutching.
Oh.
Even if it was in the dollhouse.
Okay, so Jayaz has moved to room number. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. So this appears to be another spare bedroom. It has, a slender bed, a nightstand, another rocking chair, a wardrobe, and another small iron stove. Roll a perception check for me. You are really damn sure you just saw that little yellow doll
God damn it!
somewhere.
No!
It was running under the bed. You are like 99% sure you
I'm
saw
out the door. I'm out the door.
it. Boom, gone. You come out, you slam the door behind you. You're just like, nope.
I'm like, I'm telling you, it's this way. I was like, beetle eyes, yellow dress.
Can I go back into the door with the ghost children?
Yeah, think about your doll.
Exactly. I'm gonna ask them if they lost their doll.
Okay. So you go in and you ask,
Did you lose your doll, sweetheart?
Rose is preoccupied. She doesn't notice you. Thorn looks under the sheet, like he looks back to where the sheet is. He's like, no, I have mine.
Okay.
Thank you, though. And he goes back to playing with his toys in the chest.
Fuck.
Have you found the monster yet?
Sweetie.
Might be trapped in a doll.
Yes, we did find the monster. We killed the monster, didn't we?
Have you?
Adam.
I mean, you found a secret room. Y'all found stories of cultists in a dungeon. There's
I'm talking
there
to
may
the
be some
children
more
right now,
things
Adam.
here.
Shush. Do you guys want to leave?
Rose looks at you. She goes, no, I like my home. I just don't want the scary monsters to live here anymore.
Okay.
I want them to leave the house. They need
Okay,
to get
I'll-
out of our basement.
Okay. Does it look like?
I heard that.
What was that? What was the monster? What does the monster look like? They kind of look at each other and look back to you. They aren't sure. They've never seen the monster. Mom and Dad locked them in the room to protect them from the monster. But
Okay.
they're not sure.
Can you ask them if they... Can we hear anything she's saying? Can we hear
So-
any voices?
E, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Whoops, wrong way. There we go.
Oh, dang.
That's 20, okay.
Oh.
So, you can hear Amelia talking. You don't
Okay.
hear anyone talking back, though.
Okay. Amelia, who are you talking to?
Is this over the earring?
Yeah. I can hear you talking, but I can't hear anyone else.
I'm just gonna tap the earring and be like, sure, we're
looking at
done,
me, right?
but there's monsters down in the basement.
What? I didn't hear the first part.
Finished, but there's monsters down in the basement.
Again, I didn't hear the
Yeah,
first
it's always
part.
the
I'm
first
sorry.
part.
He said.
I think what's happening is the microphone's activating a little too late, so if you,
Right. So,
Yeah.
come or something and say a bunch of other stuff first, and then...
Okay.
okay. So we're done.
Okay.
Got it.
We get it. Monsters in the
Oh
basement.
my god, that was so good!
I'm gonna tell the kids to stay here again, and I'm gonna go out there,
Okay.
and we're gonna take care of the monster for you, okay?
Do you promise to come back?
I'm gonna give her. Gloria's journal in the room.
Okay. That's kind of like you'll come
Say, I'm
back
gonna-
for it. Okay.
And say, I'll come back for this, and I'll come back for you guys, okay?
Okay.
And then I leave the room.
All right.
So whenever she comes out, I'm gonna say, "What? Who?"
You're not gonna believe me if I tell you, and
I mean, at this point, I think I would leave told. But if you don't want to, that's fine. I understand. I trust you.
I'm uncomfortable.
Okay. That's fine. We don't have to talk about it. But, so we've got a mission in the basement?
There's a monster in the basement, and there's
Okay.
a secret door in the storeroom.
And there's
Okay.
a doll in the other room. Like, it's just gonna point.
And there's the doll, apparently, which the kids. Oh, no.
The what?
Which
I'm sorry, the
the doll's
what?
about.
Jayaz, go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. Wisdom.
8.
Oh, no.
So you're still. I'm gonna shuffle you and Janaga here. So you're still standing with your back to the door. You're pretty sure you saw a shadow down by your feet come through the base of where the door is.
No!
No!
It just ran by real fast.
She's just gonna lose her shit. Like,
Okay, look, we got to figure out what is in this house, what's going on in this house, and then I have to come back up here and get something, and then we can leave. Okay? Okay, let's go.
Okay. So
Okay.
you lead them through to where you saw the extra room in the house. And as you kind of inspect the wall, you find a false brick that as you push it in, it allows you to pull the door open. And the masonry work, like it was just stone before, lifts away, revealing a spiral staircase that goes down and down
And it's the basement.
and down,
Okay.
all the way to the basement.
I tell them, hey, prepare spells now. Make sure you're healed. Monsters down here. I don't know what kind of monsters, but these are
That
the monsters.
seems like a great place for us to break this week.
I want to keep going.
So,
but there's a doll. She's this high.
And she's gonna make you trip and fall down the spiral stairs.
I was gonna say it.
Doll.
There's a great chance it might follow you down. You don't know.
She's
Might
just
be
gonna
the
fuck
monster.
with Jaws the
You
whole
never
time.
know. Like the doll has not truly attacked you yet.
Yeah,
so
it's just like
a
messing
good
with
spirit.
her.
That's because
It's
I'm
time to warn
dexterous
you.
as fuck, and I have outrun that little bitch.
She could just
It's
want
this-
to play.
It's that baby. It somehow attached itself to a doll.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, this is a fucking baby.
like, mommy.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
Simon type situation here, guys. We're not taking the baby doll. It's not happening.
So,
Baby doll.
as you all
save us.
start descending into the dark, you do arrive at the dungeon level, and you close the door behind you as Jaws is of course the last one to go down. And right as she's about to close the false door, you're pretty sure you saw a flicker of a yellow dress towards the back of her.
No!
At this point, you don't know if it's your mind playing tricks on you or this thing's out to get you, but you keep seeing it.
Oh my god. This is the curse of Strahd.
Strahd is actually
all
a
the
solid
time.
yellow dress with a gossamer cobweb wedding veil all the way down. Alright, and you know what? Let's give you a little preview of next week, shall we?
Oh,
Let's see here.
Kids, I know there's monsters, so.
Let's just give you a tiny glimpse
What is this?
of what's in store.
It looks like a windmill at first glance.
What's
Like a
it?
really broken
There's
windmill.
a lot going on down here.
Big ass basement thingy. Dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the reasons out of game that I'm breaking here is because this part of the dungeon will easily take you all of the next game session to go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. And yes, chat, I did say dungeon. Because we've fully unveiled that the Dursts are into some weird shit.
Like locking their kids away.
You don't know about that, first off. Second off,
I know about it.
I
Alright.
don't. Oh, I
And
didn't tell you.
that's our break for the week.
I
So-
just realized your orb has a smiley face.
You
Yes.
just got there. Alright, so that's our break for the week. We are coming back. Some of us are going to be at BlizzCon next
Yeah,
weekend.
I will not be able to play
Sold
again
out.
until,
And then you have a wedding.
yeah, so we have the 4th, the 11th. I'll be back on the 19th will be our next game.
Alright, so we're going to have 2 weeks of creepy little doll running around. We'll be back on the 19th. Again, shout out to the artist that did this lovely portrait for us, Josh Grilly. You can find him on Twitter, and I will eventually add his details under our stream. But he is at Josh, Josh, Grilly, Grilli. If somebody links that in the chat, that'd be great. On Twitter, he did this. It's beautiful. It's perfect. And also, again, we are still taking donations for Gamer Giving. They are building a school in Ojwando, Kenya. They're doing great things. They're awesome. And they do streaming like at least 3 times a week. So you can find their details down below as well. And I actually believe they might be doing a stream tonight. God damn it, Adam! You are the goddamn worst, and you
Bell!
You know what? Maybe I don't want to get on the plane tomorrow.
And just like that, she's gone.
She will never watch Beauty and the Beast the same way.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, which is great because I have stuff to do. But anyway, check out Gamer Giving down below. Check out their Twitch channel as well. Like I said, I am pretty sure there's going to be a stream tonight. Don't,
Don't quote us on that.
don't quote me on it, but I'm like this much sure. But yeah, so thank you everybody for tuning in.
And thank you for everybody that followed tonight.
Yeah, we got a lot of new follows. We are up to, give me, 70 something.
Oh, really? Wow.
73 follows. And this stream, we also got our 666th view.
That's perfect.
Oh,
Figure.
that's perfect.
So,
Sister.
all right, bye everybody.
Bye.
All right.
I'm not looking at the
Bye,
right
guys.
screen.